The street professor be spitting that.
He's with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat close. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this micro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. Hot like winter cold. Bust these fools, anything less than killing whack rappers is a crime. I stay trying to get mine. Stacking value, packing venues, winning over time. Ain't no fine timeline. Open your eyes, you're looking for the best, and this is what you find. Game is only for the bold. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing from parts unknown, your UFC and combat sports insider, Clever D, the Combat G, and the sports professor.
Yo, 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 what up, friends? You know what it is. Ball and Buds back at... Oh, my God. Okay, well, you got to let me know if you was going to do that. I want to bring you on. I want to bring you... Hold on. Let me get you off real quick. Hold on, bro.
Pause.
Pause. Oh, wow. Holy reckless, Clever D. That was reckless, my friend.
Gonna do what?
Wow. Don't be reckless like me on a Wednesday evening. We welcome y'all in, Ball and Buds. Thank you, as always, for tuning in for another episode of Boxing Champs, here for the review of Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. What a main event fight. Clever D, I know we're going to talk about it, but man, how do you feel from this weekend?
Oh, amazing. I was right, but still wrong. So I thought it was going to be a split, but we'll talk about all that stuff when we got the great panel on. But I'm on a good boxing high. We had some good fights. Not only was the main event good, the co-main event was good. The fights leading up to that on the main card were good. So I'm just, as a boxing fan, I'm happy.
You ain't never lied, brother. That card was stacked, jacked, and action-packed, as our brother Francis would say. Let's go ahead and bring in another brother on the panel. We appreciate him coming in, as always, the foremost boxing historian who has some stuff to talk about today with a fighter of his that we are very much looking forward to seeing, and we'll talk all about that. Josh from 86 Boxing.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Hey, I'm happy to be here as always. 41 million tuned in for the Crawford Canelo fight. Boxing is dead.
Hey, tell him, say it louder for the people in the back that cannot hear you.
Yeah, I heard.
Hey, my friend, you look a little blurry there. Are you a hostage situation or?
Am I good? Good.
Maybe you just need to back up. Maybe do one of these numbers or something. Nah, you're still blurry. But while you get that figured out, we're gonna bring in our other brother here. You know him well, and he has a little friend joining him today. Maybe like Scarface. Say hello to my little friend Clever D. Hit that intro.
We know who it is. The people know from high and low, from low to high, from east to west, west to east, anywhere in between. Heavy on the Papi, light on the Yayo, none other than Papi, Choon, Yayo.
Bam!
They say a hard head make a soft ass. A built ass. Yeah. Oh, y'all got it. Y'all gonna get this work today, fam. Let's go.
the Dusty Rhodes leggings.
Dusty Rhodes. Hey, y'all see the 86? You see the merch? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Josh.
Shout out.
Look at it.
Yes, sir. All right, with it.
All right. Word. Well, yeah, we're going to have Skywalker joining us here in a little bit, hopefully, so it doesn't look weird missing one box. But, hey, we will roll with it as is. Josh, go ahead and let the people know where they can find you, my friend.
Hey, you already know what the deal is. 86 Boxing on everything. www.86boxing.com if you want to drop by the site. Everything else at 86 Boxing. Though on YouTube, there's someone else with 86 Boxing. So it's at 86 Boxing TV. But you put 86 Boxing, I'm who's popping up there. Trust me.
That's right.
Oh, wait. So are you not both of those? Are you not 86 Boxing TV?
I am 86 Boxing TV, but the youtube.com/86 Boxing is someone in Russia who doesn't post anything.
What?
It's crazy. Right. Yeah, it's crazy. He's got it. Huh. I need to get that.
It happens. It happens.
Papi Choon Yayo, where can they find you, my friend?
Yo, just go to IG at Papi Choon Yayo. You get what you need.
Yes, sir. And also not pictured, but will hopefully pop in at some point. You know, our brother Skywalker Boxing Media is here. Go ahead and find him there. And also Mo Boxing No Problem are also our other partner as well. We thank y'all for tuning in. Let's get some comments here coming in fast and heavy. Miter, we're sorry we left you there for about 20 minutes waiting for your comment, but we are happy you tuned in and you were early, and that's okay. You wanted to say, I told you so. Terence.
Yes, sir. Look to my man Miter.
The illest, you know what, from Nebraska. Crawford cannot be stopped. Called the GOAT, even by Max Kellerman in the ring. I mean, we are talking things here. Clubber D hitting that 1,000% facts. Angel Diaz, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, he will. He'll be popping in with us, hopefully. Picasso. Yo, what's good? We appreciate you. Oh, there's Skywalker right there. Phone kept shutting off. He's going to pop in just a little bit, so y'all stay tuned. He'll be right with us. Let's see. Just Frank. Shout out.
Salute to you.
What else we got here? Let's see. All right. Joy Blogs. Shout out Joy Blogs. We appreciate you tuning in. Yes, shout out to you as well. All right, cool. So yeah, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to talk the big fight and also get into some of those fight picks for the Boxing Champs fight pick group. By the way, please make sure that if you want to join the group, we've had some people hit us up, join already. Please do hit us up. Any one of us. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, usually all of us. Hit us up. It's a free to play. You pick the boxing matches that weekend and you can win money prizes. Again, free to play, and you can win money. It is fun. Come join us. Just let us know. And you can always hit us up, hit me up if you need as well at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. There's a handy QR code there at the bottom that'll take you to our LinkTree where you can find all our social media, including Clubber D's TikTok and YouTube. YouTube is Clubber D. Pretty easy. So y'all make sure you tap in and subscribe to my brother's channel. That being said, Clubber D, let's start with you. News of the day from Clubber D. What you got?
Well, we got a couple stuff. I'll just start with they had the Conor Ben, Chris Eubanks Jr. Part 2 press conference. They started that off today. Besides Gervonta Davis Hayden, we got his fight with Jake Paul on November 14th. There is another fight I'm probably missing. Is it the Ed Parker versus Worley? I don't know if I said that last time, but they're going to fight next, and the winner of that's going to get Usyk as well. As far as boxing news, that's all I got right now. They'll probably come to me later.
No, that's good. That's a lot of good rapid fire news right there you gave us. So thank you for all those updates. I'm sure many people did not even know about that. Josh, what is your news of the day, my friend?
Hey, I spoke about it last time out. Tierra Brown defending her title for the first time in Houston on Saturday. Gonna be out there ready for her to do the thing. So tune in, folks, for sure. Also want to send a shout out to my man Shark Season, aka Scooter Davis, Derek Davis, just signed with Top Rank. You go look at it. He's out there. They posted. Been putting in that work, representing headbangers right there. So salute to him and much love.
Hey, congrats, Chip, from all of us here. That's awesome. That's big. All right, cool. Papi Choon Yayo, what's your news?
Yeah, man, y'all already know, man. I'm trying to stop the dog from shooting the jab. I done taught her how to throw the 1 to 2. You know what I'm saying? Kick up with the leg kick. You feel me? No, man. The only news that matters is Terence Crawford is one of the greatest to ever do it. That's all that matters.
Let's see what happened. What happened to your brother Angel? Look at this. Do you know how many Latin channels blocked me because I said?
Yeah, you know what it is.
I do got one thing. Josh reminded me when he was talking. Shout out to Jeffrey the Fly U. Extending that win streak to 5-0. No moss from the corner. I believe Josh was there live about 2 weeks ago in DC. But shout out to Jeffrey.
Insider information.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the Fly, baby.
Put that pressure on him.
I watched that interview with you that y'all did with him. That was a great interview. He's very energetic about his craft.
I'm coming to the gym to get that shirt. Coming to the gym. Shout out to Kaiser MMA.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Shout out to Rodolfo tuning in with us, brother. Thank you as always.
Rodolfo Rivera, salute.
All right, cool. Well, there's only one thing to do but cover this card before we get into some of those. Or do you want to do the fight picks first? Fight picks first? We can do fight picks first.
Yeah, don't matter. That's better. Whatever. Yeah.
Let's do the fight picks first. Let's tease them a little bit with it.
Oh.
Let's move into the fight picks from Boxing Champs Fight Picks group this weekend. We're gonna go over 4 fights, the 4 most important from this weekend. So if you're looking at your card on Champ Ross's Boxing Champs group, you'll see the top one is Liam Perro, who is 26-1 with 16 KOs, going up against David. I hope I'm saying Papo. I'm assuming the T is silent. 30-0-1 draw with 5 KOs. This is 12 rounds, welterweights, no belt on the line. Josh, you were looking impressed at this one. Let's start with you.
Hey, Liam Perro, of course, he's a name that is out there. He had a title. He beat Sabril Matias, and that's saying something right
that's
there.
That's why I know that name.
Yeah, that's definitely saying something, holding it down from Australia. Australia, they have some pretty solid fighters just overall across multiple divisions and everything. So I don't really know his opponent. That's just me. Maybe I've seen him, and I don't know that I've seen him, but I don't really know him. So all I can go for from that perspective is just knowing what Liam Perro brings to the table. And I think he is most certainly one of the more solid there at 140 pounds. And this is an opportunity for him to continue to do what he does, get his name right back in the mix there to where he can get a title. So I'm leaning towards him winning the decision over the person that he's fighting, despite the fact that that person is coming in with some pretty solid numbers if you just look at the resume or look at his record at face value. But of course, we always find out once you're actually there in the ring. And if we went off resume and what each has done in the sport, no doubt Perro is the one who stands out. So that's why I feel that he will be the one who is successful come this Saturday, I guess, if it's happening Saturday, Friday, whenever it happens.
It's actually a Thursday fight. Thursday. Tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Tomorrow, Thursday night fights, baby. Remind me the old ESPN days sometimes.
There you go.
I know that.
And I do want to remind you, not remind you, I do want to go direct to your point, Josh. I didn't know who the other guy was either. I'd heard of obviously Liam Perro, and now I know why, because I watched that fight that he beat Sabril Matias. I just forgot that was him. But just to give everybody else a little update, since y'all may not even know who the guy is either, he's apparently from France. So that's one thing. So the T is definitely silent, just to give you a little update there. He's 34 versus Paro, who is 29. His last fight was a KO 7, but it looks like he's only had one fight recently. It doesn't look like he's fought a lot recently. It doesn't say the last time he fought. But anyways, he's not a knockout artist. He's only had 5 wins by KO, which means 25 wins have come by decision, whereas Paro has 62% KO percentage. Now, he has been fighting 3 more years than Paro since 2013, so he does have 60 more rounds pro experience. Yayo, what do you think about this fight?
Yeah, man. I think this is going to be one of those types of fights where, the guy is just getting back and his corner is probably going to want to see, what sort of improvements he's made since, he took the L. You know what I mean? So I think probably this would be a fight where they want to see him get some rounds in, but I still think he might try to press the dude. I think it should be like an easy win. I'm taking it like if I was gambling on it, I'd probably take it by unanimous decision. But in the league, unanimous decision don't really get you nothing. So I'm gonna just say majority decision for the Fantasy Boxing Prediction League.
Hey, there you go. And I don't even need to say anything else because that's exactly what I thought when I picked it. I was like, well, I would pick unanimous, but we don't need to do that. So I'm just going to pick majority. Clever D, what do you got?
Well, this fight is going to have a little bit of parity, and I'm going to use it to base my shoot on this. I'm going to do a wrestling shoot about this one. And what I'm going to say is Liam Paro, his last fight was at 140. Looks like they're fighting at welterweight, which is at 147. So this is his first fight at that weight class. We're fighting somebody who's from France, who's from the same country of the man that knocked out Jaime Munguia, and then Jaime Munguia had to cheat on the Canelo undercard back in May. With that being said, with him moving up in weight and finding a Frenchman that might have the knockout powers that we don't know about, I got Paro by decision.
My man Clever D connecting dots out here like he a damn investigator, and he got the pin board up there, just like that's great. That's tremendous. All right, cool. Well, there you all go. Make sure you get that. That's for that first fight. We're gonna go over 3 more. Let's get some comments here. Bud Files, salute. We appreciate you tuning in.
What up, Bud?
Angel Diaz says that ring don't lie. Yeah, we know that. We know that. Oh, look who's tuning in. Yes.
My cousin.
Alicia.
Yes.
Shout out.
Alicia. Shout out. You know we love you at Ball and Buds. Yes. That's family right there. And then Boxing Kangaroo from Australia.
I heard y'all on the other night. On Saturday night. I heard y'all getting it in.
Good old Carl. Carl, crack me up.
You gotta go to that movie theater.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
movie theater.
Paro is from Australia. You're correct about that.
Yeah, I had to slide something in on BVO that night.
I was listening. I couldn't hop on. I was listening.
Let's move on to this fight on Friday night. I'll give you the Friday night fights from Detroit. We got a couple of heavy hitters coming through. Brandon Moore, 18-1 versus. Hold on, I had it here. DeAndre. DeAndre Savage.
The last name,
DeAndre Savage. Savage is 34 years of age. Moore is 31. Moore does hold a 3-inch height advantage. But we've got some stats here to tell you about. 18 wins for Brandon Moore, 10 of those by KO, so a little over half. So not necessarily a knockout artist per se, but his opponent, holy cannolis, DeAndre Savage, 10 fights and 10 KOs. Now, granted, he has a lot less experience than Moore, to the tune of 62 rounds less experience. It looks like DeAndre Savage has beat up on folks early because he only has 16 rounds in those 10 wins, which is 1.6 rounds average. So he's knocking people out in the first or second round every time. But if you're asking me, Clubber D, and I'm coming to you on this one, if wowzers, yes, you got me. That's a pauser. If you were going to ask me my opinion, or tell me that I'm a heavyweight, and you put me up against some guy named Savage with 10 KOs and 10 fights, I'm just going to walk away. I'm going to say I don't think I want to fight that guy. How do you feel about this fight?
Well, you hear that name Savage, reminds me of the homie that went to high school with, Chris Savage McQuarrie, who finished second place in the UFC Tough Enough competition from my area. Shout out to him. Nice. But, sometimes stats lie. But in this case, it's hard after watching Yoel Romero make his BKFC debut last Friday at age 48, and knocking dude out. He's a savage. So I'm going with the Savage. It's going to be a second round knockout.
Yes, sir. Second round knockout. Yayo, what you got for us?
Man, I'm with Clubber D on this, man. I think it's going to be a little later. I got my man doing it in 5 because, we got to give some respect to the other guy, but I just feel like he's handing out concussions and migraine medicine. So, get your Ubrelvy up, fam, because you'll have a headache after that night.
Bro, you and me, Yayo, we on the same page tonight, the same wavelength, because I agree the same exact way. The only thing I had different with you was KO6, but I didn't know that he was knocking out folks so fast. So I was about to switch and go a little earlier myself to like KO4, KO5, but yeah, he's still gonna knock him out. Josh, what you got?
I'm looking back at what I submitted in my thing. So actually, I put more via SD in what I submitted to my man Champ Ross there. But
Ooh,
that
okay, wait
being
a
said,
second.
Savage, his record is more smoke and mirrors. If you look at the names and all of that stuff, there's no question that from a competition standpoint, the edge lies with Brendan Moore. His loss is to Richard Torres, who we have a lot of promise for him, or he has a lot of promise here, and he's Olympian, all that good stuff, representing Team USA. And Brendan Moore is the bigger fighter, and he has a okay jab. When he's in there, he usually starts pretty slow. So I feel that the best chance is for Savage at least, is gonna be there early. As it wears on, I'm gonna take Brendan Moore as far as him just kind of leaning in, using that body on him. But Savage himself is not a small guy there at 6'3", whatever he ends up weighing in at. But when you get something of this nature, you kind of just look at what available information is out there. And the information that we do have leans towards Brendan Moore winning this fight. So I have split decision in favor of Brendan Moore, and it could be unanimous decision, but Champ said is you get more points with split decision. So I'm going with that.
They had a press conference today on DAZN, so if you guys can check that out, go on their Instagram. They were going back and forth. So it's pretty good, pretty entertaining.
Oh, yeah? How did they
Omar
compare to each other? Is the size glaring for Moore?
Yeah. I mean, he's wearing was wearing a hoodie, but he's a big dude.
Okay.
Yeah, man, the motherfucker Pillsbury Doughboy built dudes. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers got that built like a chicken pot pie. They got meat hanging over the side.
Why not like a chicken pot pie?
Got the extra skinny shirt. The people wear the muscle shirts without a muscle in sight, like one of those type things.
What were you trying to say, Yayo?
No, man. Hey, said we ain't gonna have a Harper situation where motherfucker just climb out the ring and just.
Felicia, I'm not even making it to the ring, okay? If his name is Savage and he has 10 KOs in 10 fights and they all happen in the first 2 rounds, no, I'm not even fighting. I'm not even agreeing to the fight in the first place. They're going to put it in front of me and I'm going to be like, hell no, he can wait a little bit. He ain't ready. I'd be like, look at my record. He ain't ready for me yet.
I'm going to country box.
Exactly. I'd be like, nah, he need to wait a little bit. All right, cool. Let's move it in to the next fight. Actually, you know what? I want to save this one for last because that's your girl, Josh. So we'll start with the Fundora fight. This is last on your list, y'all, of the Boxing Champs Fight Picks group. So if you're looking at it's at the bottom on Sunday. This is Gabriela Fundora, 16-0 with 8 KOs versus Alexis Kubicki, 13-1 with 2 KOs. This is 10 rounds for the IBF, WBA, WBC, and WBO flyweight titles. Josh, since we're going to start with you with Tierra Brown, we'll start with Clubber D on this one. Actually, you know what? Let's start with Yayo. We haven't started with you yet. Yeah. We'll go Yayo. Yayo. All right. What do you think about this fight right here?
I think, B-side is just that, man. It don't matter. We got walk him down, Gabby. She walking them down, fam. I mean, she could box and do all that stuff, but, man, when she be walking them down, that shit look pretty, fam. I ain't going to hold you on that. So I'm taking Gabby Fundora by KO9. You know what I'm saying? I just think she's just too tall. The reach is too long, and she's mean, man. Like, I don't know. Like, you see motherfucker that, with the librarian look, and they take the glasses off and be crazy than a motherfucker inside of there. So I'm riding with Gabby by KO9, fam.
Now she comes, Clubber D, as we know, because we've talked about it before. The brother-sister, they were the champion combo at one point in time.
They still are.
Oh, they still are? Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so they still are. That's what I thought. Okay, I just wasn't sure. Yeah, so we talked about that before. So when you come from a fighting family, you're going to be one tough mother sucker, you know what I mean? Talk to me, Clubber D.
I mean, you got her brother. He's taking Harvard classes and knocking people out. Ask Tim Zoo about that. And then his sister, she's one of the few women that can knock the race off your face. Like when she became undisputed, when she hit Homegirl, it was kind of like when Bumgarner hit Harper, and it was like they stood still, like stuck in time, like they was on Kensington and Philly. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff just zoned out. So she's known to do that to women. So with that fight, with that being said, I got Fundora, and I got her going 7th round knockout. It's going to be, she's probably going to knock her down in probably the 2nd round, and maybe again in the 4th, and then it's either towel thrown in or no mas come round 7.
All right. Yeah, I mean, now you're starting to change my mind. I hadn't picked that fight yet, but just looking at it, I mean, I know how tough Fundora is, but the other fighter looked okay. I thought maybe she could dance around for a little bit, but y'all are starting to make me rethink. Josh, what you got?
Well, I did go unanimous decision for Gabriela Fundora, but if she stops her opponent, then it certainly would not be a shocker for me, because I think she's a handful to deal with. And it's so ironic that she fights similar to, of course, her brother there, Sebastian Fundora. And you can just kind of see a mix of that in both of them. And that's pretty amazing. Another combination similar in nature is Caroline Dubois and Triple D, Dynamite Daniel Dubois. There's another one where the sister fights similar to the brother, big bro, or whatever it may be. And I think this is the same case with Gabriela. To be able to really deal with her, you got to have a lot of endurance, a lot of you have to be able to take a lot of punches and just be able to stand the test of the duration of the fight, because she's one who's going to keep coming forward. The person she's going against, she only has one loss. That being said, of course, similar to what we were mentioning in other contests, if you look at the resume, you really start to dive into them.
Right.
There's really no comparison, So I think that Gabriela Fundora continues doing what she's been doing, and I think she will continue that for the foreseeable future until she continues to move up, and maybe someone jumps out there who is a legitimate challenger that can push her to a different level. But for right now, man, she's in her bag of one of the best women fighters in the world.
And I want to, my bad, Omar, I just want to add one quick thing.
You're good.
I wonder how long before she signs with MVP, because I'm going to bring up something once we get to the Crawford fight with Netflix, unless someone else brings it up before I do. But I wonder how long before she signs with MVP, because Jake Paul does very good by these women fighters. She does.
Yeah,
she does well by them.
Man, Jake Paul
That's
is
the one thing he does.
He is.
He pimping Watson.
And I respect what he's doing.
If I had a daughter, I wouldn't let her go. All that. Ain't no another man finna pimp my daughter. Fuck all that.
What was your decision? What was your decision on that?
Oh yeah, I got a unanimous decision for Gabby Fundora, but stoppage would not surprise me.
But what about for the fight picks group? Majority or split? Just for the
No, I have unanimous even in that.
You didn't even, you can't, that doesn't get you any more points. Why wouldn't you just?
I know, but I feel like it's going to be clear.
You just stood on principle. You just stood on principle. Okay. All right, cool, whatever. I will stick with you, Josh. I chose a decision before, so I'll stick with that. Although she does have a 50% KO percentage, and we know how mean she is. I'm actually going to stick with the decision like you did, and I'm going to go with the unanimous decision as well. If it was a fight picks group, I'd pick a split decision probably, just because it seems like the other fighter at least has a decent enough record to maybe pull one judge. But I don't know. I like unanimous there. I wish you could just pick unanimous too, but I get it because there may be so many unanimous picks. And now what I will say though here is, what was her brother's nickname, Josh?
Towering
Inferno.
That's right. The Towering Inferno. That nickname cracks me up every time. That's great. What a great nickname.
Big fan of his,
All
but
right,
he
cool.
put the glove on after the Epson Lupin fight. That left glove was still on there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. That shit is olive. That shit is olive oil on the bottom and lambda up top.
There's something fishy about that. Why is that glove still on after? But whatever.
Oh man.
That's great. All right, cool. Let's move it into the last fight we're going to talk about here on the Boxing Champs Fight Pick Group. Again, y'all, if you are not in the Boxing Champs Fight Picks Group, you want to be.
Get in.
You want to be.
Yes, sir.
It's free. It's free, and you can win money, and it is fun. I thought I wasn't going to enjoy it as much, but I got in there, and now I'm waiting for the picks every week just so I can throw them in. And I'm at the bottom of the ranking, so you can have fun even when you're losing.
Join me. I'm down there. I was down there. I'm down there. Come on.
Man, I got tired of being at the top, man. I wanted to join my homies this season.
That's foul. That's mad foul. Anyways, reach out to any one of us on Instagram at all of these different handles and DM us, and we'll get you in touch with Champ Ross. All right, and shout out to Champ Ross. We don't see you in here today, brother, but we appreciate you as always.
Right there, shout out. Vikings fan, I believe too.
Saludos. Oh, we got a saludos and a lads. A little Spanish and Irish action.
Irish boxing aficionado there. Salute that there, Chris.
Yeah, they're going to have to sit down for a minute.
If anyone's tuning in while Omar's going through the comments, we'll do as Omar's going through the comments. Let's do a like break. Just go ahead and like the video. You know, if you're hearing this later or now, like.
We're on the same page, Felicia. We're on the same page.
Everybody on this at everyone's page, you know. So you got the trifecta, quadfecta, whatever you want to call it.
Who said lads? Because we got, you know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all be letting people get punched in the back of the nugget and just be okay with it.
Hey, yo.
Stoppage by right hook to the square to the back of the head.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, as Clubber D said, though, right? It is free. It is free to you, but it's so invaluable. All the gentlemen here, we all have our profiles connected to this stream. So every time you like one of the videos, whichever channel that you're watching from, it's going to help out all of us in the algorithm. So it's free to you and invaluable to us. So please do that. And while you're there, subscribe at Clubber D, at 86 Boxing, at Papi Choon Yayo on Instagram, and at Ball and Buds. We thank you for tuning in. Let's move into this last fight. It is your girl, Josh. Tierra Brown, 19-0, 11 KOs going up against Emma Gongora. 10-3-1 with 1 KO, 10 rounds for the WBC featherweight title. Josh, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Man,
oh, my bad.
This is an interesting one right here. This is interesting.
Oh, no, I was going to let him go first.
Okay. Yeah, I get to go first. Let's get it. Yeah. But this is the first title defense for Tierra since winning the WBC World Featherweight Champion, and I think she will eventually have all the titles there at 126, but that's just my opinion. So this contest should be a pretty nice one right here. Emma Gongora, she's out of France, and she has traveled to pick up wins before, so she's going to come in shape. Matter of fact, I follow her on Instagram, and we've interacted on a number of occasions there just through the comments or whatnot. But Emma, she's going to come in shape, ready to go. But I'm telling you from firsthand knowledge that it is different levels when you think about it from an overall standpoint, and you'll know what I'm talking about once you actually see it. But because Tierra Brown, I think she is the one, and she's going to do what she needs to do here on this weekend to get that victory. So I actually have Tierra Brown via 6-round stoppage. I just think that pressure is going to be too much. She's going to continue to dial in. And if you think back on the fight with Sky Nicholson when she traveled down to Australia to win the world title, had the referee stopped all of the holding that Sky was doing, then I think that outcome could have been something that ended early as well. Emma's nice, as I mentioned, she's solid, but I see a similar situation as far as once that pressure that Tierra brings is on, it's over from there. Watch out for the check hook, because I feel like that's probably going to be something that, you know, opens up things. And I'm going with Tierra Brown, 6-round stoppage. I think she's ready to take the throne at 160 or 126 pounds totally. So I'll be there live and in attendance. You might see me. I'm rooting her on. So let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, they're fighting from the Bayou Music Center in Houston, Yayo. And I will say, Tierra Brown has a 58% knockout percentage, 11 KOs in 19 fights, while the other lady, Emma, seems like a little bit of a light hitter. Only 1 KO in 10 fights. What are your thoughts, Yayo?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I just met Tierra Brown the other day. You know what I'm saying? I got to get a look in her eyes, fam. And I just, hey, y'all, listen, when we making these picks, it's his business. It's not personal. You feel me? Like, we just be making picks. We just be talking a little trash. Don't get mad at me, because Tierra's going to be on your ass. Baby. I got Tierra putting the Beats by Dre on her by KO7. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel it. Iron sharpen iron. And you know what I'm saying? France been losing anyway. So, you might as well go and take this L too. Hold that.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I need you next time to say that rhyme part with the puppet. Where's Papi Choon puppet when
Hey,
you need him?
you know what I'm saying? You waiting to belt ass.
Clever D, what are your thoughts on this fight?
I am glad you started with Josh because Josh kind of laid it out perfect for all of us. And since this fight is going to be in Houston, this is going to be more of a showcase fight similar to Liam Parra. And how I was hyping up France and how Bruno, whatever his name is, knocked out Jaime Munguia.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, what's the young lady's name that Tierra's fighting?
Emma Gungora.
Emma Gungora is going to be similar to Paul Wall. She's going to be sitting sideways in ring around number 5.
Okay? I knew
Okay?
something was coming.
Knockout, TKO, Tierra Brown. Sitting sideways like the girls in the day. Let's go.
Sitting sideways.
Yeah, there's no.
Be chopped and screwed. Talking like DJ Screw.
Yes, sir.
There's no way I'm going to go against any of these gentlemen's opinions. They obviously know, and especially Josh, because he knows Tierra Brown and her skills for a long time now. So, I mean, I agree. I think that when you're looking at the heavy hitter, or a heavier hitter at least, versus somewhat of a light hitter, and the fact that they started around the same time, I mean, I just think Tierra Brown's going to knock her out too. KO 5. Get him out of here.
Oh, we're together. We're together.
There we go. Yes, sir. Oh, you said KO 5 too? I'm sorry, because I was looking at my notes. I didn't hear what KO you said.
Man, if they had more time to work, listen, I understand why most of y'all pick split decision and majority decision for the women, because they just don't get enough time to work, man. But there's a couple of them out there that just seem like they got the type of, you know what I'm saying, walk them down mentality. And Tierra, she definitely she got that.
You got it. Like, she got somewhere to be. And this is gonna be strict, like champ. You got all these other girls looking a certain way. I'm gonna get to that on my little nugget I have. But she's gonna show the world who she is. And if you don't know, you're gonna find out. All right.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I love that. All right, cool. So y'all look forward to seeing her. She is going to be on Saturday night. So there you go. You got 4 fights, 1 for each night from us. There's your boxing weekend. We hope you enjoyed. Again, hit any of us up to join Boxing Champs Fight Picks group. It is a very fun time. All right, and there you go. And now let's get some comments before we get into the main event of the evening. My bad, Angel. I missed this earlier. Have you seen Daniel Dubois' sister?
Oh,
she
yeah.
Can fight.
No doubt.
Oh, yeah. She ain't no joke.
Be the real deal.
Yeah, that's a bad one right there.
There you go. Adam, Canelo's white ass got washed. We appreciate you tuning in, Adam. Don't worry, Adam. Don't worry. We know you're not racist. You don't have to worry about that. We know. It's all good.
He's white, so
he's very. I mean, he's white looking. You can't say we know he's Mexican, but he does look white. I mean, come on, look. I've been pulled over by the cops before, and when they gave me a ticket, they put white on the motherfucker. Okay, I don't like it, but they do. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially with how many Hispanic people we got there, and they can't tell I'm Hispanic. Like, at least, come on, man.
Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop participating in them census. hey, all you Indonesian people, y'all next. Y'all think y'all got it cool too? They finna be on your head.
A lot of people that live in Miami, I know what you're talking about. A lot of people that live in Miami.
More than 100,000, if it's more than 100,000, you motherfuckers, y'all gonna have a box to check. Yep. And that's gonna be when it starts, baby.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, cool. Let's move it on. Sheba, won't lie, Crawford made easy work of Canelo. We're gonna talk about that. People have different opinions on that. Some people here will.
That's the homie. I like what you're talking.
Some people may have some things to say about the judges as well. So we'll see. Felicia says, "Put me on that free joint, cuz
I'm gonna get you when we get off."
That's funny. Let's see. Chet Cook reminds me of Money May. Put Ricky Haddon down with that. By the way,
rest in peace.
Thank you for that.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Ricky the Hitman Haddon.
Do they know how he passed away by any chance, or is it still? So I know he had an exhibition lined up.
Yeah, they just said he was found like that. So signs seem to point towards it could have been, there was no foul play or anything of that nature. It could have been his own doing, but I don't know for sure. I haven't seen the exact latest, but he was just kind of found in that situation, So
Mhm.
but he's dealt with depression and things of that nature. And apparently,
Yeah.
I didn't notice he had attempted to take his life before.
Oh, damn. I didn't know.
Wow. Yeah. No, I'm looking at all the news reports now, and his family was quoted as saying they thought he was in a better place. So, alluding to what you kind of just pointed at, that
He
it could
would-
be something along those lines.
Off
We don't want to
season,
say
I know they
because we
call
don't
him
know.
Ricky- I know in off season they would say, like, Ricky Fadden, because he liked to eat a lot. I didn't know, like, if drinking, or he had other vices. I wasn't too sure because he's over in the UK. I don't really hear too much about him. I know his son recently retired after his loss at a young age from boxing. But shout out to Ricky Hatton, man. That's one of the
That's
great
tough. Yeah, he
Yes,
kind of embraced that,
Sometimes.
that whole Ricky Fadden and all that stuff. He played into it as well. But he was scheduled to actually make a comeback in December against someone.
Mhm.
So, I guess, it's one of those crazy situations,
Mm.
Yeah, man. I mean, if he's been dealing with it before and he's been dealing with mental health issues, hey, those mental health issues will get the best of you if you don't, handle them and nip them in the bud ahead of time. And that's very unfortunate for anybody. We pray for anybody that has to deal with anything like that. So, hey, prayers up to him and his family, especially. But yeah, he had apparently issues with both, mental health, alcoholism, and some other things, which are nothing to be glorified. And we feel very bad for him. And anybody got any memories of any good fights of his or anything like that?
Yeah, he was the one that sent Kasazu into retirement. I think about the magnitude of his fight with Mayweather when that happened, and just kind of seeing that there, how it went down live and all of that stuff. Man, it was anticipated for sure, and he had a number of other good wins. He's one who I think I've shared it before, but I always loved his trucks. I felt like they were some of the nicer ones in the sport, just in general, where he had that sort of teal like color and the British flag tied into it. So I always liked his trucks.
Yeah.
He's always for me for Mayweather Pacquiao. They were like, all right, Mayweather Pacquiao are going to fight each other. Okay, you saw what Mayweather did to him. Now you saw what Pacquiao did to him. And I was like, all right, that's a common opponent. Now what's going to happen with Mayweather Pacquiao fight? But again, he's a British legend, British great. Him.
Yeah, definitely. Rest in peace. And obviously, it's hard to move on from a person passing, but obviously, prayers to his family. Let's get back to Tierra Brown fight, because this is comments from here. Angel Diaz says if she gets into that little triangle, it's game over.
Yes, sir.
Felicia then champs in.
Yes. Omar, with the game over, we're gonna say little flip.
Game over.
Somebody, do all analogies right there.
Hey man, he's trying to give away everybody's age on this man.
I forgot all about that song.
See this right here, see that right here, and nothing here. Hey, you know I'm already up there. I'm already up there.
Let the record be shown. I am only 37 years old.
Take the
hat off.
Oh, damn. Don't do like that.
Answer your cousin's question.
Let's get that whip
Don't find out it's a horseshoe up at the top of that motherfucker.
All right, stop talking about my hairline. Someone answer Felicia's question, please. Jesus.
Oh.
Can anyone walk Clarissa down? Anybody?
Nobody.
Hey, hold up a second, man. I put some information there in the chat. Should do something about. Because listen, man, the Savannah Marshall fight was
Savannah's
an easy fight, and y'all know I'm a big Clarissa fan. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that Savannah Marshall fight was some good work.
It's my Friday.
It was definitely good work.
Friday year, male and female.
So
they can run that back.
In light of Savannah Marshall versus girl, what's her name? What's the other girl?
What's her name?
I know her name, but it's
she beat her last. She
who just beat Savannah Marshall. She's with MVP.
Wait a minute.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, she maybe is someone who would make it interesting. Walking her down is very interesting for sure.
I messed up. I didn't mean to say Savannah Marshall. I meant to say Hannah Gabriels.
Well, yeah, Hannah.
That's the one.
Hannah's the only one who's dropped Clarissa in all of her contests. Hannah was the one who put her on the canvas And that was one that was being talked about. I would love to see that. The only issue now, of course, is Hannah. She's been out of the ring for about 2 years now because they were going to fight at one point. But I still like to see that rematch, and it would be at a higher weight this time because Hannah, she was putting in work at heavyweight, light heavyweight as well prior to her, or at least in her last contest that she was in the ring with. But the girl that beat Savannah Marshall here in her last fight, I think that she could be very interesting in just from an overall standpoint. But I don't know in terms of walking Clarissa down is going to take a concerted effort. You're going to have to really commit to that. For sure.
Man.
Hey,
Papoose, man. Hey,
that's it. Go ahead.
No disrespect, Papoose. Ain't nobody walking Clarissa down. I just thought about it. She thicker than frozen peanut butter, fam. Like you feel me? Like ain't nobody walking her down. She caked up, man.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is another one, like the Savage. Like if you're gonna ask me to go in and try to walk down Clarissa, no, I'm not. I don't want that fight. No, I just don't. I'll take another fight, please. Give me someone else.
And it's Shadeja Green. That was her name.
Shadeja Green. Right.
Shadeja. Hey, she dialed in. I might have spelled it wrong there, Shadeja, but she was dialed in and like super determined in that fight with Savannah. So she's someone who will be an interesting matchup there for Clarissa Shields, especially at this stage. It just be a matter of what weight, because Shadeja is at 168. Clarissa's last 2 fights have been in the heavyweight division, which is generally on the women's side over 175. So she's coming in about 177 or somewhere at that range. So makes it interesting.
I think it depends on also when Shadeja called her out. I know that Clarissa doesn't get along well with Jake Paul or his partner at MVP. So that's another thing that'd be
She's
tough.
talked about fighting Jake Paul.
Yeah, they don't get along. So someone has to put their ego aside for that to happen. I think for one of those big fights to happen, Carissa's already selling out the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, so she's getting a great crowd.
Oh yeah, she's got some stuff.
So it's going to be, why would I want to leave that spot and go somewhere else? But she said she wanted to be on the undercard of like a Crawford fight or something like that. What I would love to see, because that's what Jake Paul does. He put Serrano on the undercard, and their second fight their third fight did number. So there is a method to that, kind of like Christy Martin and Tyson when she was on those undercards. So I think for Shields to break through to more of the mainstream, she needs to be on one of these big undercards and kind of
and I'll note that Carissa is a free agent right now. She's with Salida Promotions for the duration of her career. I know on what she's put out there online, she's even open to. She's not denouncing any promotion, so that means even MVP is on the table. I haven't heard anything as of yet as far as her signing with anyone, but she is a promotional free agent at the moment. So in all likelihood, if something major were to happen, and given that Savannah Marshall and Shadeja Green are both MVP fighters, maybe that's where she ends up, but time will tell. The only other person out there who at 168 is Franchon Cruz, and that's someone she's fought. That was in her very first fight as a pro. I think that would be an interesting matchup as well, but we'll see who Clarissa ultimately signs with. But MVP, they're doing some things right now as far as signing the best women in the sport.
Man, that shit is foul.
That last fight was a gimme.
That shit is, Clarissa Shields is the queen of boxing, and Terence Bud Crawford is the king of boxing. Period. The fact that she ain't got a statue built somewhere is bad business. If anybody else had been doing what Clarissa Shields did, they'd have an arena named after them. You know what I'm saying? She should be the highest paid woman in fighting sports. Period. She should be the highest paid.
I agree. What they're doing for Amanda Serrano, she's accomplished so much. Same with Katie Taylor. She's accomplished so much. The backing needs to be behind Clarissa Shields the same way they are behind those 2 young ladies, because
man,
what she's accomplished in the sport along with them, they kind of ignore her, and it's all about who's the one promoting and backing you, and she needs to be on that level. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, not only does she need to be on that level, she's more accomplished than both of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
she's in the Guinness Book of World Records, fam.
Yep.
yeah, I mean,
Well,
she's
close is
also-
Katie, and Katie doesn't have as many undisputed, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Juggernaut.
No, I agree. And you wish someone like Jake Paul would be like, hey, let me make her a headliner and MVP.
Man, listen, man. Hey, Jake Paul, there's Jake Paul. Jake Paul has I mean, let's see. Okay, if you want to say he's accomplished things,
We're just talking about the promotion of women. That's all.
promoting,
yeah, but still
like,
though, they're not on the same level. Like how is she gonna fork up her queen status to go work for a jester?
No, I was just saying. Hopefully, someone would.
You gotta, hold on. Yeah, you gotta look at it like this. Soulja Boy may have sold more records than Coogee Rapper. Who is the better rapper?
Facts.
So that's
Soulja
how
Boy was the internet. He broke their internet rappers out.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
but still, point holds.
Going that round, the point is, Jake Paul might be whatever, but he's move the needle.
He gets more attention, right?
And she needs somebody to help her do that. Somebody on that level.
Yep.
I Show Speed, Kai Cenat, somebody in that realm, promote somebody that kind of looks like you. That's all I'm saying. But whatever.
Good point. You got the money, might as well. Mr. Beast out here promoting his people. By the way, shout out to one of your people, Clubber D, and I've never actually met her in person, but she seems awesome.
Oh, yeah, I'll see her. So anybody that that inspires someone to lose weight, this woman, and if I'm wrong, fry me, okay? But I think she was close to the 400-pound club, lost well over 200 pounds. Has been a marvel for people trying to lose weight. My homegirl Karita, she is by. If I had your freaking YouTube, I would not YouTube, but Instagram. If I knew it, I'd say it right here. But you can put it in the comments what your Instagram is. But she's big into fitness. She's lost a ton of weight, and people, if you're just an everyday person and don't need that YouTube fitness model that has that fancy gym, she's somebody you can follow that's an everyday person just like you, losing weight and trying to get better. So shout out to the homegirl Karita, and I will see you for a high school reunion in October.
Salute.
Oh, that's what I see what it is. Now Clubber like, yeah,
which one?
I used to want to holler at her back in the day. Let me show you.
Married, I believe I'm not putting business out there, but a grandmother. So absolutely not. So we're okay on that. But I know she's that's the homie.
That's funny. Shout out to Adam, says the fight wasn't fair. Canelo saw Benavidez just before the fight. Shit is
he definitely didn't want them Benavidez problems.
Already getting started.
That's in the line of what I would do if I saw Savage or Clarence Shields. All right, so let's move it into that card. We're not just going to talk the main event. We're going to save that for last. Wait a few more minutes, 15 more minutes. We got y'all, everybody. We got y'all. But we got to talk about these other fights first, because as Clubber D said at the beginning of the show, these other fights were tremendous as well. So we're going to go through the co-main event and the second to main, which, by the way, I would like to point out. No, I'm just joking. I'm not going to say anything. But we'll start with the non-co-main event. Christian Mbili versus Lester Martinez.
Should have been a co-main event.
I should have been.
Hey,
I said that. We all agreed.
Okay, but I just want to make sure we all know the professor had it correct. And
yeah, you did.
I was corrected. WBC interim super middleweight champion Christian Mbili, 29-0-1, 24 KOs, went up against Lester Martinez. They battled to a split draw. 93-97 Martinez, 96-94 Mbili, 95-95 split draw. Wow. This was a hard-hitting affair, gentlemen. I could feel the punches through my TV. Josh, what do you think about this?
Man, the draw, I'm not mad at it. I got to be honest. I'm not mad at the draw. It would have been cool if one fighter would have won. But that being said, I remember I went to a fight party where we were all watching it. And I remember after that 12th round, I said myself, I was like, I don't know who won this. I really don't, because there were so many ebbs and flows. Each had their moment, and I knew it would be a damn good fight, but it was even better than I anticipated. I mean, they were really banging, and fight of the year candidate right there. Maybe it's in that number one slot right now as far as fight of the year. It's got to be up there in the rankings. And I just think that, yeah, it was an absolute treat. It should have been the co-main event as we discussed, but I understand that name value and who was involved, the reason it wasn't the co-main event. That being said, I mean, that was the fight of the entire card right there. And they both put on, and it's just, hey, if you're introducing someone to the sport of boxing, that's one fight that I would definitely want to, I'm like, hey, hey, come check it out. This is boxing. You haven't seen boxing? Hey, this is the fight to check out right now. You know what I'm saying? So I think both of those guys won fans just giving the performance in that contest. And it was back and forth. I mean, hell of a fight there for sure. I'm not mad at the draw. I wasn't scoring it live, but at the end of it, I really didn't know. And that's what you those are the type of fights you look for right there. At the end of it, I did not know who won. So salute to both of those guys. Maybe they'll fight again. We'll see if it's the next match for each of them. If it's not, then I understand, because that's a grueling matchup. A lot of shots taken from both parties, man. That takes a little something out of you right there. So salute to both of those guys, because I thought they put on, they understood the moment, and neither one wanted to back down. And go and get to the contest, I picked Lester Martinez to win the contest. I actually picked 6-round stoppage, but that was really just me kind of just throwing something out there. But I'm not mad at where it ended up right there, man. Both of those guys, super, super duper salute to them.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, it was a tremendous fight, Yayo. What'd you think?
Yeah, man, you threw a wrong pick out there, just like I did.
Join the club.
Wrong pick out. Listen, man, I remember what I said about this fight, because I rock with Mbili heavy. I thought that Mbili would probably drop him like 3 times. I thought that he was a faster fighter, which it seemed like. The thing about the fight is that he bet a guy that was tough, man. The dude was tough, and I'm telling you, when they run it back, I'm riding with Martinez by stoppage. I feel like Martinez, if he had to just listen to his corner and stepped around, because every time he stepped around, those angles were there for him, and the boy can crack. Like, I'm telling you, like I'm giving him all his due. He could definitely crack. I felt like he had like a little bit of an amateurish style that night. Like, he would just shoe shine, and like he let 5 punts go. It's like an all heart type fight. You know what I mean? So I would definitely take Martinez the next go. Hey, and that split draw, you know what I'm saying? I said that's how I thought the Bud fight was gonna go. You know what I'm saying, Omar? But you got that one right though with the draw. That's dope. Hopefully you picked it in the league, because that's 25 points, man. You can't beat that. Yeah. That's 25
Yeah,
points.
that's crazy that you picked the draw. And it came out to be it's gonna be a split draw. That's tremendous. Great job, Josh.
Points right there. Yeah.
Clever D, what you got on this one?
Man, this fight, I actually thought the experience of Mbili would give him to the promised land around mid-round area, but I feel like the draw helped us out as boxing fans because of what the outcome of the main fight was. You got to look at Lester Martinez, a man from Guatemala City. Shout out to my Guatemala brothers and sisters. My grandmother is even named Guatemalans, which is funny. But, he's trained by Boback, who trains Bud Crawford. Okay, so if he would have won and Bud becomes undisputed in the same weight class, that's a little turmoil. That's a little issue they're going to have to deal with. But with this being a draw, we don't have to worry about that. I thought with Mbili's experience, Mbili was going to get him up out of there in the way he fights. But this, and like you said, Josh, this is one of those fights where if someone is new to boxing and just want to learn about boxing, I equate it to, if you want to learn about UFC or mixed martial arts, watch Forrest Griffin against Stefan Bonner at the Tough Enough Finals, the first season. Okay, the ratings went from 1 million to 3 to 4 million from their first round to your third round. You know what I'm saying? So this is the type of fight that will get you on to boxing if you want to just learn about boxing. So I definitely love this fight. I had Mbili winning, I think 7th round or 8th round knockout, but I'm happy the way it worked out. That's why I don't really bet money on boxing, because I'd rather see a good fight than worry about what round they should get knocked out.
Shit.
I haven't crossed over yet. I haven't crossed over to that yet.
I'm doing both. I
haven't crossed over.
Yeah, we all picked KOs for M. Billy except Josh because
I picked Lester Martinez. Yeah, and hey, it's one of those interesting things. I just wanted to say this real quick. I study. I'm flattered when you call me historian and all that. I'm just a lover of the history of boxing. So studying the history of boxing, man, this is that type of fight that is a separator because for even the best of the best, there are sometimes those fights in which all of the physical goes to the side right there, and it comes down to the mental. And neither of those guys could be broken mentally on that night, and that usually what produces these iconic type of fighting, makes it a very special bout between the two. And, and salutes to both of them because this is the type of fight that you don't always get. And I think, as I mentioned, probably took a little something out of both of them, but they understood what was at stake right there. They understood the magnitude, and not every fighter understands that. You know what I'm saying? So neither one to give an inch right there, and that's what made it an amazing contest for us, the fans. And that's why you'll see others, I'm seeing in the comments and all of that, saying that this was the best fight on the night, and I definitely agree.
And hey, look, I mean, the reason I call you a historian, my brother, is because you studied the history of boxing. You are a true historian of the game, and I actually don't know any better historian on boxing on YouTube. So I'm going to continue to extol the virtues of your historical boxing knowledge, my friend. All right, cool. Let's get some comments here. Shout out to Raz Klot, giving 86 boxing. Look at that. Give a shout out to one of his favorite channels.
Rasclot, he knows this stuff right there for sure. Hey, shout out to Rasclot, folks. Go follow him. He goes live as well. Rasclot always dropping those dimes right there. He knows what
follow right now.
The history of it and all that stuff, and he understands. So salute to my man Rasclot.
Yeah, y'all definitely tap in with him. He says Billy needs to learn some defense, and he's off balance a lot.
I 100% agree, and that's why he was catching those uppercuts. He was getting caught with those uppercuts. Think about it, Billy though. He fought the way that he typically fights. He's gonna keep coming forward. He has this knack for being able to carry that same type of ferocity, power, and energy into the later rounds, which that definitely helps him because you usually look at guys with that build right there. They say the muscles, they tend to burn more or whatever it may be, burn more energy or whatnot, and you start to slow down. But he does not slow down.
The lactic acid, yeah. And then speaking of lactic acid, he may not be on acid, but he's on something. As I see the smoke in the air, because he walks on the sky and networks with all of the boxing stars. Skywalker.
Now let it rain.
What's up, guys? Sorry I couldn't be here tonight. I'm out here walking the skies, cleaning some windows for a fellow media brother. So,
hey, but you're here though. You're here.
You're in the
I'm here to say hello. This is Gabriel Padilla right here.
What's up, fellas? How's it going, guys?
One of my right hands in media in Albuquerque. We cover all the boxing events, and he does. It's kind of like you guys, Ball and Buds. He covers MMA and bare knuckles, his forte.
Hey, we need to know, guys. We just need to know who he picked. We just need to know who he picked. Who did he pick?
Up with him.
Hey, Gabriel's been on the show back in the day when Angelo Leo was fighting. I don't know if you remember. It was back in the day.
I remember him before. Yeah.
Oh, who'd you pick in this fight? Crawford or Spence?
Oh man, I was on the wrong side. I had Canelo, man. I was telling Skywalker.
Okay. Yeah, I got a joke. I'm gonna line you up here in a minute. Welcome to the show.
You so stupid.
Crawford looked damn good, man. Respect to Crawford.
That's right.
Yeah, he did his thing.
Hey man, Crawford Bud's been getting his flowers everywhere, man. Everywhere. I haven't really seen too much flack or negativity
y'all motherfuckers can't say shit.
Yeah, we
That's
can.
Why. Ain't nothing
Respect
to Bud.
About it. It's crazy.
Ain't nothing to say.
Well, Skywalker, if you want to jump back on in a couple minutes, we'll be talking about that main event. We just got to go through the Walsh Vargas fight real quick.
Yes, sir. Yeah, for sure. I'm busy working, but I just popping in just to show some love to you guys.
Well, hey,
I'm trying to get this done before the sun goes down. It's a big house, man.
Well, hey, give us your quick thoughts now then. Everybody wants to hear it. Give us your quick thoughts on the Crawford Canelo fight.
Hey, respect to Bud, like I said, man. I got to eat crow a little bit, but you know what? If you look at my prediction, I said that I didn't count him out. You know what I'm saying? I believed in him. I believe that weight was going to be a big factor, which it wasn't. So yeah, man, respect to Bud. We witnessed history in the making. But if you really want to talk history, I educated myself the other day with 86 boxing. We're talking about a fighter holding it down in 3 weight classes at the same time. So it's been done in the past too. So that's something I didn't know. I didn't know it was actively in three weight classes. So Jack Johnson,
Look at that, Josh. You ask and you shall receive. You said, I'm not a historian, and the 3 next things that come at you are Paul.
I learned something from
you are one of the biggest historians.
I learned something.
You're checking it out. Henry Armstrong, Hammer and Hank right there. He held undisputed titles in 3 weight classes at the same time.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Good info. Good info. Well, hey, we appreciate you, Skywalker. If you want to pop back in, we'll be here for a few more minutes. But let us. But if not, then have a good work shift, brother.
All right, cool, man. Thank you, guys. All right, later, guys.
Yeah,
all right, brother.
Fall off on your letters. God, please. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get some more comments here before we keep it moving. Let's see. Where's the new? There we go. Okay. Champ Ross. Oh wait, no wait. I missed one of Felicia's. Sorry. Felicia said, and Billy wasn't as technical as he needed to be. Needed more range, but definitely had heart.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
And then
that's a plumber.
Angel
Diaz, you're correct. We need a rematch. Hey, I mean, I know I want to see a rematch for sure. Some people may not agree with me. Let's see what else we got here. There he is, Champ Ross. What's up, brother?
Luke, that to you, Champ.
We appreciate you. We did promote the Fight Picks group, as Papi said. Everybody, again, if you want to join the Boxing Champ Fight Picks group, let us know. We'll hook you up with Champ Ross, and you can join the Facebook Fight Picks group for free and win money. All right, cool. Let's see what else we got here.
I will say, Ross Claude, or if you're a Niner fan, put in the chat if you're a fellow Niner fan. So the Bay Area. Just saying.
Yes, well, he says, I thought Canelo was a decision myself. Crawford looked good, no excuses. Hey, we love it when people tell it straight. Vargas needs a new trainer. I don't think his father knew what to do with a taller fighter. We're going to talk about that fight right now. Rasta didn't call Crawford out either. He just proved he is talented enough to fight in his true weight class.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Ross, yes sir. 86 boxing, damn right, encyclopedia. Let's see. Rasclot, Barney Ross is up there behind Armstrong, going back to Josh.
I was about to say Barney Ross.
Tony Canzoneri is another one right there. Tony Canzoneri. I got his
Felicia, yeah, he like Trick Williams from TNA. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Angel Diaz says, I got Jerry Rice's rookie card. I have 6 of them. Damn, you must be a nice.
Let me get that.
You want to have 5?
Yeah, right. Give him Dion.
Let me get one of them.
Hey, you call me Dion. Look here.
You can call him by his
name. You call me by government name. You call me Dion. So what's up? I'm a big time Niner fan.
I got 2 cards. I got a free card. I collect 3 cards myself. Let me get what you Angel.
What's going on, brother?
That's funny. He's the biggest Niners fan I know. Hook him up.
And while we're at it, my beer opener right here. We were doing the show the other day. It's right here. We do a football show. Shout out to our Sunday Showdown, Ball and Buzz. Check us out on Sundays between the Sunday night game. Be up in there.
Yeah, they like San Francisco because the LGBTQ community make
that's fine.
They make it sound. They say San Francisco.
That's fine. I don't care. We accept all. I don't care. I don't care. All the way to 5 rings. All the way to 5 rings.
Oh, wait, hold on. Rascott said, yes, 49ers fan, but he's from Oakland. Come on, baby.
That's okay.
What happened to the Rays?
I got
Yay,
me and Felicia got family up in Sacktown, the Paso Heights. We in there. Trust me. We got
Yay,
area. You already had you on YouTube.
I didn't know that, Rasclot. That's what's up, my man.
I got you. Okay. The Bay Area. South E40.
Yeah. Yes, sir. E-Fonz
Ghost Ride the Whip.
Hey, Ghost Ride the Whip. I believe them Cowboys almost lost to them damn Giants. So you better put that puppet away.
I ain't got no team, Playboy.
Oh, well, whoever's talking to.
Hey, you trip. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's funny. All right, so Rascott says Tony Canzanari is another one Crawford can be named next.
Yes,
to.
sir. Yeah, shout out to my man Dan. He mentioned that as well. But yeah, Tony Canzaneri, a hell of a beast right there. Hey, one of the greatest fighters in history. If you don't know him, look him up, folks, and you'll understand. He did a lot at a very early age too.
He also says Emil Griffith is a three-time undisputed.
Emil Griffith.
You know, he lives in Brentwood, Liberty.
Okay.
He lives in Brentwood. Yeah,
that's where we got a lot of family up by Sacktown up in. I'm not gonna say exactly where. I just said, but yeah, they know.
Hey, Champ Ross, you know what you can do with your Broncos ponies loving ass? You can get the fuck out of here. I ain't got.
He do like the Broncos. Y'all know where all the fake go. Get out of here.
All right.
You lucky like Sertan ain't hurt. That's what you better be.
All right.
Right, barely winning games. Get out of here. I don't hear that.
Daniel Somebody Jones said Clubber favorite artist is Baby Bash.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine.
Hey, you got good songs. Got a hit out there. You know what I'm saying?
Baby Bash. High heels in Dallas wearing stars. Get out of it. Try that.
Hey, listen, man. I retired, fam. I packed all the gear up. I packed the dog jersey. All that shit went in the trash bag. I ain't lying.
Hey, Michael Parsons.
Wait, when was that? After what? After you traded Michael Parsons?
No, man, it was last year, man. I said that was it. I just couldn't do it no more, fam. I was like, man, I no longer have the syndrome where you get beat on all the time and keep coming back. I don't got that.
Yeah, because we saw where Jerry was when he was 16 at school. We saw that picture.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we saw that picture.
All right, let's move it into the co-main event of the evening. Callum Walsh 15-0 and 11 KOs had a unanimous decision over Fernando Vargas Jr. A total, pretty much just wipeout here, right? Kind of an ass whooping. Papi, Choon, Yayo, we're gonna start with you on this one.
Man, y'all already know how I picked it to begin with. You know, I seen the Vargas boy in there in the bed, you know what I'm saying, with the shorty over there doing the interview and stuff like that. I was like, I was like, what is going on here? These dudes getting ready to drop off some PORN hub type stuff out here. I was like, what is going on? Like, he's supposed to be boxing you all up in the bed, lounging and napping and shit. No, man. But really, what I thought was gonna happen kind of happened. I think Callum Walsh was another level above him. I believe he set him up. You know, I mean, Vargas he had a lot of pride and stuff like that. And the family name is one that comes with a lot of pressure. So, you know, shout out to him for still doing his thing. I just think Emiliano was the one, you know what I'm saying? My man coming there looking like Scarf. Hey, you know what I mean? Like, he came in there looking like Scarface. So Emiliano's the one out of the family, if you ask me.
Yeah, me too.
But I think Walsh is Walsh was just a tad better that night, you know. So I got it right, like all the other picks, but you know.
Well, you got him Billy wrong, but anyways, that's another.
Everybody got it's a draw. That don't count.
So what you're saying is he was more worried about a little Netflix and chill.
Yeah, Netflix and chill. Yeah.
He was worried a little more about a Paramount Plus and Down for the Count Plus.
Oh,
yeah. Maybe he was in for a little Hulu and Do You, maybe. He was in for a little Peacock, and that's self-explanatory.
Hey, look, y'all. Hey, listen, man. If y'all got daughters and sisters and stuff like that, hey, women, have some respect for yourself. Make that motherfucker get up out the bed, bro. What kind of interview is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Get up out the bed.
I did see that interview. I didn't realize that was Vargas. Because I wasn't paying attention to. I just saw it like scrolling through. I was like, "What is this?" All right. That's probably. Whoops. That's a personal message. That's a personal message too. Here we go. Rascott. Vargas had no game plan. He was defeated mentally. It seemed like after 4 rounds, he had no answer and no way to close the distance. Clubber D, what do you think about that?
Well, I saw a video where people were saying that Vargas had knocked him down when their feet got tangled. And I saw someone was like, "Oh, that should have been called a knockdown." I was like, "It don't matter." Okay. When we talked about this fight last week, at 28, they were still saying he's a prospect, but Walsh is only 24. I'm like, nah, this prospect's really Walsh. One, it's Dana White's boy. He's been promoted by Zuffa Boxing or whatever, UFC Boxing, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
2, this is a showcase fight. I know I give Vargas credit for calling all these fighters out at that weight class, but there's levels to this, and I feel like he doesn't have the same hunger that his dad had when he had the haircut with the little joint with the dye.
Yeah,
you know, it's just not the same. And I even though Vargas, you know, he
the little floop in the front.
Yeah, the little floop, and that Trinidad fight took years off his life. But anyways, Fernando was one of my favorite fighters, and Emiliano, like Papi Choon Yayo said, that's the one that I think out of the sons, that kid's the truth. He's really good. This one, I think he's at age 28. He's like, you know what? I need to make that step up and fight somebody or a name similar to mine that can get me over the hump. And unfortunately, Walsh is just too skilled for that. And it was just clean sweep for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was a clean sweep. That's what the judges had as well. I thought that I also thought Vargas was going to put up more of a fight. I picked him because I thought he was actually going to try a little bit, but it seemed like, again, as someone mentioned earlier, I apologize for not remembering who mentioned it, but it just didn't seem like he was prepared for this type of fighter that he was going up against. And it's like, man, if you're not prepared when you're going into a fight like this against a Callum Walsh who is experienced and is a good fighter in his own right, then you are going to have problems. And this was more of a problem. This was an ass whooping is what this was. So, hey, it is what it is. All right, cool. Well, thank you for that. Let's get into a couple comments before we move into the main event. My bad, Josh. I apologize.
Might say so right here, but I'm leaning on the same side as the rest of them. You know, I felt that one thing I didn't know is how much of a size difference it would be as far as length and what Fernando Vargas was dealing with. I picked him to win via decision, but some of that essentially was tied to the namesake, thinking he had a little bit of that, whatever his father has in him and all of that stuff. But I got to give props to Caleb Walsh because he pretty much took that out of him. And you're right, Fernando was a bit timid as far as I'm concerned, and he never really found a way to truly close the distance, which you have to do if you're going to be the fighter giving up a bunch of reach and all of that stuff. I thought he had some good moments. I'm surprised at the scores being as wide as they were, though I do think that it was a very clear win for Caleb Walsh. I wrote down one of the things I wanted to mention was that also I feel like a disservice was done because following that Mbili and Martinez fight didn't help this contest right here because that was so action-packed that a lot of people, I can just tell you from just being in a fight party perspective, nobody's really paying attention to that contest because, hey, those were big shoes to try and fill right there, what Mbili and Martinez did, you know, and I thought that kind of didn't help them either, you know, just thinking about the prospects of course, attracting fans and others who want to be involved in their careers moving forward. But that being said, I got to give it to Caleb Walsh. He fought the fight that he needed to fight. I was disappointed in the fact that Fernando never really changed a ton up or much of anything up. And, of course, he went out the way that he did, and he seemed to be a little bit content with it right there. So that's when you need that sort of separating factor right there because I feel like his father would have found that. And I'm with Papi Choon Yayo there. If I were to classify the brothers, I'm with Emiliano. I think he is the goods as far as the totality of them, and I look forward to seeing him. Fernando, he's going to need to bounce back, and it'll be interesting to see if he has what's needed there on that left side where the heart falls as far as being able to do something major in this sport, because that was not a good look for his first real step-up fight. And time will tell if he ends up being someone that we'll continue to mention here moving forward.
One thing that you said that I think does need to be addressed is, and I didn't score this fight personally like I did the main event, so I don't actually know what I would have had. But I do agree with you that just from the looks of the fight that he maybe the scores could have been one round closer or something like that. Maybe he won another round than just like almost a complete shutout. And again, just from the looks of it, I didn't score it, but it seemed like he was at least in the fight a little more than the scores indicate.
Yeah, he had a small sequence there where you could see that he was closing the distance a little bit, and he was actually landing some pretty good shots, but it didn't keep up enough to where it really stood out from a totalities perspective. So I think that kind of hindered him right there. So the onus is on him to come back now. You know what I'm saying? So he's got the name and all of that stuff, but he's really got to do something. I would say he's got to be a little bit more special moving forward for people to get back into sort of the good graces, you know?
Name value only gets you so far. I think all of us can agree on that.
All
right, cool.
They got him an interview in the bed.
Yeah. Name value, I will say name value and also great value, depending if you have it against regular.
Yeah.
Well, I hope if he was in that bed, he was getting some cheeks too. All right, let's get some comments here. Champ Ross says Vargas did better than I thought. Walsh shit the bed. In my opinion, he was there to make a splash as the co-main. I wouldn't say that. How can you shit the bed when you almost blow out a person? I can't agree with that, Chad.
Well, it's because
I do agree that Vargas was a little better. I do agree that
he showcased that fight to be the co-main, and Billy and which call should have been actually the real.
Was a better fight.
Yeah, right.
Just in attributes and accolades, that fight should not have been a co-main. That's called Dana White. That's my fighter. I want to promote him. That's what
and it brought down the momentum for the casual fan. It brought down the momentum right there because of the type of fight that was fought, which I expected.
Because
let me tell y'all,
people are like, it's up too. I'm staying up too late, and you wouldn't say that if you're watching an action-packed fight. You'd be just right. So.
That's true.
Hey, let me put y'all on some game real quick, because I know a lot of people don't notice this stuff, but I've noticed that ever since Turkey got into the business, they've been paying European fighters and matchroom fighters more than they're paying American fighters, and actually putting American fighters on the undercard, like the second or third fight of the night, bro. Like, they've been mad disrespectful on the placement of the bouts. Like, you can't feed me a debuting Saudi Arabian boxer and say that he's better than somebody who's, Steve Nelson. You can't sell that to me. They did the same thing with Tevin Farmer. They did the same thing with a whole bunch of people, man. Like, it's disrespectful, fam. Like, and Turkey is selling us some wolf tickets, fam. Like, I know they're trying to put some stuff together, but they selling wolf tickets. Like, you cannot push these dudes on us, man.
I think that's part of Americans' dominance and ignorance to a lot of stuff, because unfortunately we've been on top for so long, and we fumbled the bag of us on top. And now that we're not in control anymore because we fumbled it, they kind of say, you know what? I'm not gonna say the name I'm gonna say, but they're gonna put somebody up there that's from a different country that benefits them. Because from Turkey's standpoint, yes, we have our American fighters, but I need to grow this sport in India or Pakistan or Saudi Arabia. So I need to showcase people that look like them, opposed to people look like us, Americans.
Yeah.
So that's the mindset I think he's doing. Because soon a lot of these fights are going to be over there in Riyadh season, and they're going to want to have a lot of Hamzat Sarazes and others that kind of fit the bill, so they can say, okay, yeah, that's our fighter.
Shoot the jab.
Yeah, kind of like I want to see somebody who looks like Mayweather or American, yada yada yada. So they're just it is what it is. Get that goop scoop ready. I tried hard. I tried hard not to say it.
Not the goop scoop. Get the goop scoop. Get the goop scoop. Get that goop scoop. All right, let me stop. All right, let's move on to some more comments here before we get canceled. Razclot, Callum Walsh will get better as long as he stays active. All right, let's see.
Yeah, he's young. He's good. He's got
that's a private comment. Y'all be having a lot of private chatter over here. It's hard to cut through these things. Emiliano. That's private again.
He's the man. He's the best out of the brothers. He's legit.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay.
Armando's more of a scrapper. I think Armando would be best if he switched to like mixed martial arts. He'd be a stud. But
I like Emiliano.
Armando's too aggressive for boxing. He's too open to get hit. I think if he went to like MMA, he'd be great.
All right. Rascott, not to mention Walsh has some pop. He made Vargas hesitant.
He did.
Vampiro, we will get to this in just a second.
Vampiro.
My man right there.
Says, I predicted this fight on the YouTube channel was going to put $1,000 on Crawford, but you chickened out. Oh, that sucks.
Shout out to my guy Vampiro there.
Yeah.
Man,
I put my $5 bet.
It would have been a nice payday right there.
Champ Ross says Turkey trying to make a Saudi pipeline of fighters earn. That's what they were just talking about.
I'll eat some goop scoop. Got the money, right? Shoot.
Felicia says, I hear you. I know you would demand at least $1 million. I hear you, but they got the money, so they're the shot caller. If I was in their position, I would do the same thing. That's exactly what I was thinking, Felicia, while they were talking. If I'm Turkey, I'm gonna do what I want. You want free pay-per-view? You take the fighters I put there, and you'll get your fighters too, but they'll get put where I put them.
I'm not
I'm telling you.
In November.
So how much is Netflix? About $29 a month. I know motherfuckers that ain't got that. Motherfuckers be trying to determine whether they want to go get some ho-ho Debbie cakes or fill the gas tank or keep the lights on. So if you got to have a Netflix subscription, it's people that can't do that, fam. I'm telling you.
And the zone. Too.
I'll tell you. You know what? I'm gonna say this. Once we get to the next fight, I'm gonna say what I was. Omar can start with me with the next one.
Oh yeah, I got you. Rascott said would have loved to see Merrill versus Shiraz.
Oh yeah, Merrill and Shiraz.
That'd be good.
Right there.
All right. And then he also asked if we talked about Inoue. We did not, but what are your thoughts on the Inoue fight, gentlemen? Anybody have any thoughts on that one?
Not gonna lie, I was busy all weekend. My brother in town.
Yeah, your brother was in town.
I did not watch that fight, so
I need to watch it myself as well. But that being said, I like MJ, and going into it, I picked Inoue via decision. And MJ, he's nice. He's got the amateur background and all that, but I heard he was dominated and it wasn't really close. So I need to go back and watch it. I might do that a little bit later here tonight, as a matter of fact. But salute to Inoue, man. He's the man at 122. I think it's only up from here, I guess, unless Nakatani and him come to some decision or agreement.
Ooh, that would be crucial.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Yayo, I'm looking at it now. It says, Inoue dominates Akhmadiev in a boxing master class by unanimous decision.
I caught some of the. I'm not getting up for any more Inoue fights. Like,
that's way too early, man.
Not doing it, man. Like,
too early, yeah.
He's not that guy to me. I already thought it was disrespectful how they was trying to hand him the top spot, and that's what this whole move about him fighting this weekend was. It was like, okay, they thought they was just getting ready to hand this pound for pound number one over to Inoue. I've been on this the whole time, fam. I see the plays, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's foul what they be trying to do to us, man. Terence Bud Crawford is the king of boxing, and Clarissa Shields is the queen of boxing. Period. The Black American style is a style that everybody wants to learn, and I see the UK dudes starting to do it now, and that's why the Mexican dudes have a hard time keeping up with them, because they copying us like everybody else on the planet. So it's time for the respect to be gave out. It ain't just about belt to ass like we put to Canelo. This is about respect. Y'all need to give it where it comes from. That's it. You give credit and we'll leave you alone, but you're gonna get this belt to ass and some lessons coming with it.
I love it.
That's hilarious. All right, cool. Let's get some other comments here. Champ says, it's missed Inoue. Just seen the scores. Yeah, I think we all did. Inoue literally cleaned out 122.
He
only got Picasso left. Rascott says Inoue is all around talented. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, we get about it for
pound for sure. All right, cool. Well, let's move it into the main event of the evening. And I think Clubber D is going to hit on one of these points here, but Josh did mention it earlier already. 41.4 million viewers on Netflix. The U.S. audience for live and same day viewers, because that's what really counts. The replays count too, but I want to know who watched it live. So live. The U.S. audience was 20.3 million viewers, live and same day watches. So there you go. So anyways, what happened in this fight? What an amazing fight. And I know there are a lot of discrepancies on the cards and where the scores ended up. And I know all these gentlemen will touch on this. But what I saw, even in the fact that, yes, Terence Crawford did win that fight handily, I still saw a good fight. I still saw a fight I enjoyed. I enjoyed sitting there watching the whole fight, regardless of the amount or lack thereof of how people think of the dominance that Crawford put on or not, which I think obviously was pretty dominant. Again, didn't take away, as y'all mentioned earlier, when you're kind of talking about taking away the casual fan with the Colin Walsh kind of Vargas thing. I was tied into this fight the whole time. Anyways, judges did score the fight 116-112 and 2 115-113s. Clubber D, I saw you talk about the 115-113s online. We are going to come to you in just a second. So again, Crawford started out very quick, as we all said he needed to do in the last fight. He needed to get out to a quick start. He did. He came out throwing hands, and he was throwing combinations. And Canelo just looked a little like hesitant for a lot of the first kind of rounds, a little frustrated, a little mad even at times. Now later in the fight, Canelo obviously started to pick it up, started kind of read Crawford a little more, but then towards the end, Crawford just turned it on and pushed him out of the way. Clubber D, Crawford landed 165 of 442 shots for 37%. Canelo landed 132 of 347 for 38%. So Crawford did land 33 more punches, but they landed at the same percentage. What are your thoughts on the new undisputed super middleweight champion?
Well, you guys can't see this, but what I did was I scored the fight round by round, and I put little things up there. And Canelo, because I was getting drunk, and it got little shout out to the Rubik's Cube in the was at his house, and I had Canelo getting 2 rounds, and they could have been swing rounds at that. I think it was like 2 and 4. But for starters, I'm going to talk about Netflix, and these are the numbers. They might not be accurate. They could be a little false, but number 1 viewership on Netflix for live streaming. They had 125 for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. They had 74 million for Serrano Taylor Part 2, which I said that Jake Paul showcased Serrano Taylor and that controversy and that made for that all-female card to get viewed by so many people. And then you have Canelo versus Crawford, 41 million as the professor mentioned earlier. So first and foremost, I love the fact that Crawford, Canelo, they're a draw. People say Crawford wasn't a draw. He's always been a draw. It's that people, think that since he's not a household name, people aren't tuning in. A lot of people tune in to Crawford fights, even when he was with ESPN. Second most thing I noticed, after they weighed in, they both weighed in at 167.5. Later that day, when they filled out, the first thing I was like, oh, snap. Pause, but Crawford has filled out. He looks about the same thickness as Canelo, super pause. So, with that being said, I was like, you know what? Okay, Crawford has a really good chance in this fight. And I know it sounds weird, a pause worthy, but I like to see the body type. How do you fill out after you lose that weight? How'd your weight cut go? You look at the way he looked opposed to the way Charlo looked when he made that same weight. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff plays a factor when it comes to these fights. And he said that fighting Canelo, opposed to someone like David Benavidez, who might come in like 200 pounds, a taller 6'2", 6'3" guy. Canelo, he said, no, he's shorter. He's just thicker. Balls. But that's why Crawford made his decision to fight Canelo. Now, going to the fight, everybody said that Crawford would run. If you look at that 9th round where he stood in the pocket and embarrassed Canelo, Canelo said it himself, my body couldn't react with my brain. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. So
that's telling you right there that Crawford's boxing IQ was 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 steps above Canelo at that fight. Okay. He made him look like the smaller man. Crawford, you would think that was the bigger guy. This was like similar to Ruiz versus Roy Jones Jr. when he moved up to heavyweight. Okay?
Oh yeah,
the domination from the smaller guy. So I loved everything about what Crawford did. I thought it was going to be a split decision because we know how Canelo gets down. You saw the Mayweather fight. Bivol, someone said a draw for the Bivol fight. So you just don't know with Canelo. But God damn it, they got it right on this. Besides the 15, as my dog shakes his head, and besides the 15 to 113, only thing I disagree with, but regardless, Bud Crawford is the face of boxing, and he's what everybody should look up and want to be if you want to become a boxer.
the best.
That's all I got.
Yeah, man. He definitely that was great, and he definitely proved it. He proved that he is the greatest of our generation. He proved that he is more skilled than most people had as for a long time there as a pound for pound fighter until recently when we talked about it slowing down a little bit, and we'll get into that in a little bit too. So, do y'all remember? So this goes to what Clubber D just talked about in the 9th round, where Crawford stood in the pocket, right? Mm-hmm. And so I know you all. I know you saw the picture I posted on the Crawford thing, right? With the for the YouTube thumbnail, where it was the punch that he took, where he couldn't believe that he had been punched. Where he was like. Actually, hold on. Let me show the people what I'm talking about real quick.
Yeah,
I have it on my computer.
Hey, Canelo came out of that thing looking like he was on the spectrum.
Hey,
yeah.
When I watched Bernard Hopkins first, when I watched Bernard Hopkins versus Tito Trinidad, and Bernard was killing with that jab, and his head kept on snapping back. That's when I came up with the phrase "Si senor," like "Hey, si senor." Yeah, yes. But when Canelo got hit and looked that way. My new one is Mira, because he's looking. He's like, Mira.
Hey, baby,
so it's one of those.
That's crazy.
Okay, so my first thought, and I was trying to find a picture, and I couldn't find a great picture for it. So I'm just going to use this one, just because I can't find a better one. No, hold on. Actually, you know what? No, I need to find a better one before I even ruin this joke. I'll get back to it in a second. I've got to show you. But that's the picture I'm talking about, y'all. The picture I'm talking about is that punch where Canelo just went back like this, like Clubber D said, Mira, and then came back. He just looked at him like,
like what the hell?
What the fuck? So I'll bring the picture up I'm talking about when I find it. It's going to be a surprise. It'll be very funny. But anyways, all right. Let's go ahead and continue on there then. Yayo, you were up next. What do you got on this fight?
Man, I don't know, man. Listen, I didn't even this thing became like a cultural war. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing I really even care about, because it was a cultural war. And it's like, we ain't never asked for none of this. Man, listen, matter of fact, if your small intestines is backed up with guacamole and refried beans, you probably went with Canelo that night. And you know what? And my intestines was nice and smooth, baby. I had chicken wings. You feel me? I had all my chicken wings, baby. You get refried beans and guac. Yeah, y'all can keep that, because we was. I told you, Canelo had problems with small fighters. Didn't I tell you that shit? Ain't Canelo been beat before? All them accolades you got? Let me get them. They said you was the face of boxing. Not tonight, baby. All you motherfuckers that stampeded out of the stadium and was running away from ice and shit like that. Yeah. We tried to tell you they don't like nobody that ain't white, but you didn't listen to us. So there's one for that. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, bro, it was a masterclass. Crawford went in on his ass. Pause. It was easy work, man. You know what I'm saying? And let's talk about the parallels. Didn't Floyd Mayweather say, man, I was 38 years old when I cooked that boy. I was almost 38. Ain't Crawford almost 38? Damn, if history repeats itself, clap 2 times, put a 2 in the chat. Didn't it repeat itself? Yeah. And didn't I call it? Yeah. Hey, you know what? I got to say something for my homies, though. I want to thank all of y'all for coming through with them payments. You know what I'm saying? I cleaned up when Mayweather did Pacquiao in. I cleaned up when Mayweather did everybody else in. And I cleaned up when Crawford did Spence in. And I cleaned up when Crawford did Canelo. Boy, I've been cleaning up, boy. You feel me? Y'all might start calling me the janitor the way I'm out here cleaning and collecting bills. You know what I mean? No, man, but it was too much racism that was happening with this fight, and everybody that be rolling their R's and shit. All y'all motherfuckers went with Canelo. Matter of fact, I seen a Cuban dude that said he had a Team Mexico hat on. You look like us, bruh, and you got a Team Mexico hat on, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what? There's a ass whooping for the Cubans. Oh, hey, I know you in there, Jose. Don't run, Jose.
I know you're in there,
You eating
Jose.
thighs and drumsticks now, baby. You know what I'm saying? You just see how your boy's been taking them L's. Yeah, you picked Crawford, didn't you? They kicked you out of the group. Why? Because they don't like that you like black people like that. This is one whooping for them. You know what I'm saying? Because you are dude and we fuck with you, so we're gonna put something on them too. Hey, I know it's another Cuban dude out there who fought to Detroit, and all three of y'all tried to back me down and said, "Oh, Canelo was too big and all that." This is one for you too, fam. I still love you, but get this ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? Hey, didn't I tell you to quit crying? Hey, if you keep crying, I'm gonna give you some more. There's a difference between the way a black man whoop your ass and the way somebody else whoop your ass. You get a lesson with it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the buckle too. He said the buckle too.
We trying to put dents in the motherfucker forehead. You gonna walk out this motherfucker with a leprechaun print on your forehead when we get done stapling it across there. You feel?
Glorious bastards.
You feel
Heat
me?
it up like a glorious bastard.
Listen, man, I don't even want to cook no more, man. I'm just telling you, like I got some pit up shit I got to get up off my chest because these motherfuckers, because that shit is unnecessary. And I know the next person that Canelo fights, if he black, this shit gonna be switched right back on.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have another belt for that ass.
Yes, sir.
Hilarious. And next time, I hope the puppet is also in the picture when you're belting that ass. That was great. Let's get some comments here before we get to Josh on this. Felicia says it was an excellent fight. Judges' card were trash.
Yes, sir.
Champ Ross says Crawford filled out solid. He was ready for everything Canelo had. Razclot, Crawford is above Manny and Floyd and Usyk and Inoue. I think.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Well, do y'all agree with the Floyd one?
Yep.
Yeah, he been.
I'm gonna mention it.
He was 2 division undisputed before this fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
So
But I mean, a lot of people consider Floyd to be the greatest of all time. That's why I'm asking.
No, hell no.
Smoking mirrors right there.
That's all.
Yeah, no.
He's good. Good, but nah.
Champ says, what do you guys think about the foot placement Crawford was doing to frustrate Canelo to take away the left hook?
Oh man,
well, he did more than
Don't
that.
do that IQ.
Yeah.
He would hit his hand down.
IQ he has in there.
Yeah, he was pinning that. He pinned Canelo's arm to his body and turned him, and then hit him with a 5-piece, and then turned him again and gave him FOMO.
Yeah,
Woo!
couldn't figure him out at all.
Yeah,
when he came out with the Desperado song, saying that's why I fuck with. I'm giving this man an opportunity to sing a song that's near and dear to Mexicans to prove that I'm not racist. I'm with everybody. So
it don't matter.
We don't know about that.
It didn't even matter that he paid respects to him because that shit was quiet like crickets in that motherfucker because Crawford was beating his asshole. Canelo hit him a couple times and the crowd erupts. Ooh, yeah, no, fam.
Harlem Nights.
Just hold his. I felt like I felt the energy from the black people who was standing up talking shit while they was in a sea of Mexicans and them motherfuckers booing him from the fucking press conference all the way until he. Matter of fact, even after the fight, when he gave y'all some respect, y'all was still booing him. You know, get some more belt to ass.
And he shot it out. Bill Haney in the post press conference said that Bill Haney was the first one to say, "Hey, you can do this. You can do this."
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So as a quick reminder of the picture I was talking about, right? That's the Canelo shot that he took, right? All right. Now I want to show you the first thing that came to my mind. I've got 2 pictures for you.
Oh, not the black.
It was the first. It was the first thing I thought of, yo. I thought of this alien with the neck. I was like, it looked like that stupid alien.
I'm not gonna front. One time I was walking my dog and I ate some ice cream. I was lactose intolerant, and I got to the park, kind of close to my house. I was walking like him when he walked out that diner, trying to run about the house. It was bad. It was bad.
So you tell me this is what his neck was like. And Clever D, you know what the funniest part is? Hold on. You know what? I'll get to it in a second. Let me get to Josh first, but that's funny you said that. All right, Josh, go ahead, brother. What you got on this one?
Hey, I share many of the same sentiments that the others just share. What I wanted to note that, of course, is I only gave Canelo 2 rounds, and I can't remember which rounds they were, but I only gave him 2 rounds. So the cards were closer than what I thought. Also, as Clubber had mentioned, I likened Crawford's move to 168 similar to that of Roy Jones. The way they went about it, you just knew it was meticulously done. And they went about it the right way, not just someone who said, okay, yeah, I weigh this when I walk around or whatever, and I'm just going to go there. But he was strategic about it, and you could just tell that he's a guy that's dedicated to his craft and what he's able to do there, you know. And I had switched to Crawford. For the longest, I had been leaning Canelo, but then something told me, hey, you know what, Crawford, I just think about it from studying, say, the history of the sport and some of the greatest that we've seen. And there have been others who've gone up multiple weight classes to win world titles, to become undisputed, or whatever it may be. And I just feel like Crawford had that makeup about him, just seeing the way he approached things. Just if you know his background, know what he puts into being at the level that he is, then you can understand why he is able to accomplish what he was able to accomplish. So that's why I ended up leaning towards him. And also kind of what was alluded to here. And I was going to say, I'm sure this might be controversial for some. And just from what I've seen, just thinking about the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Sugar Ray Robinsons, the et cetera, I feel that Crawford would have beat Floyd Mayweather as well, just looking at what he brings to the table there. That's just my thoughts right there, real talk. Wow. I see what Crawford brings to the table, and I just think that he has that extra thing about him that puts him past a number of people. So he's most certainly going to be recognized as one of the all-time greats. The thing about boxing history is, of course, there have been a number of all-time greats. So it's hard. I've seen some like Mount Rushmore things. I think Showbiz the Adult put Crawford in his Mount Rushmore or whatever. He had Langford. He didn't have Ali. He had Langford and Henry Armstrong, who I'm in favor of course. He had Langford, Henry Armstrong, Crawford, and I can't remember who the other person is, but essentially there are a number of people that are left out. I think that's a big much. I wouldn't necessarily put Crawford in the Mount Rushmore. People have their own choice, but as far as the greatest boxers that we've seen, I think that Crawford, he fits that billing, and he's going to be a name that's remembered and mentioned among the best of the generation for sure. And hey, I got nothing but props for him. I mean, I think he proves himself. He's proved himself, and he had a period there. A lot of people were counting him out, talking about his resume. If you look at who he's beat some very solid opponents, all of varying styles. So I've never bet against him, and ultimately he's proved to be sort of that person that he was expected to be, at least from the standpoint of leading into each of these fights. And hey, I can't pick against him in any scenario. I don't see any scenario right now, at least. So I think he is most certainly one of the all-time greats, and not being a prisoner of the moment, I think he takes out a lot. Even this previous generation, though in a series of fights, things could, wins and losses could, exchange hands or whatnot. But man, he's legit, real deal.
So I've got some follow-up questions here then for the rest of the panel. And Josh, I want you to answer one question first, and then we'll go to everybody else. Would you put him in your Mount Rushmore then?
No, it's so hard, and it's primarily because just when you really look at the history of the sport, there have been so many names, many who've been forgotten, and comparing modern times to the olden times, it's like night and day in some sense. There's something about, say, back in the day, fighting Joe Gans fighting 42 rounds against battling Nelson, no top cover in the heat of
wild. That's fucking crazy.
There's something about that compared to what we see today with a 12 rounder or whatever. And we're talking under the markers of Queensberry rules. So these are 3-minute rounds. Think about that. 42 3-minute rounds. You know what I'm saying?
42
that's
rounds.
that's why it makes it so tough. So I don't necessarily have them in my Mount Rushmore. That being said, I really need to think about it a bit more, but he is of the same ilk and likeness of those great guys from the past. It's just hard to compare them realistically speaking once you know about the conditions of the previous years or the old days compared to the conditions of today. But that being said, all of that aside, he is certainly worthy of mention among those types of names for sure. And I think he's shown that by virtue of the weight that he's scaled and the dominating fashion in which he's done it. So it's one thing to just beat Canelo, but he practically dominated Canelo for the duration of that contest. Same that he did with Errol Spence there at 147. Same that he did with those at 140. Same that he did with those at 135. So I think he has that all-time great making about him, and that's why I put him there. And the difference between, I guess you could say, him and Floyd is in the sense that there were no catch weights, that type thing. Crawford, hey, he went up there. He came from 154 where he only had one fight and beat the undisputed 168-pound champion. And I think that is saying something right there. So I think he's one of the greatest of all time for sure.
But there is a distinction between the new and the old era. So you would probably have to have a Mount Rushmore of both an old Mount Rushmore and probably a newer, and even maybe a mid like 60s, 70s, 80s Mount Rushmore. So you might have to
man, fuck all that. We ain't giving nobody.
Well, go ahead, Yayo, my bad.
We ain't giving nobody no easy outs. You got to choose.
Is he or is he not on your Mount Rushmore?
That's different.
Man, he is on that motherfucker for sure, because y'all was getting ready to give Canelo all the accolades. He done played y'all for like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
He got all these great names on his resume. And when people look back, they're going to be like, oh, he beat him, and him. It's not going to reflect that those people were, at the end of it, or they were, they were cherry. It's not going to reflect that. It's just going to say that he fought him. Right. And the people who can't see it are going to think that he did something great. So if they was getting ready to give him all the accolades, the same way they gave Lomachenko all the accolades, the same way they gave all these other people all these accolades, when a black fighter beats him, those accolades now belong to him. Period. Ain't nobody. He's the first 3-time undisputed champion. What? That's a motherfucker. That's legacy defining shit right there. And he had to do it against opposition. Like Bob Arum really could have promoted Terence Crawford better than what he did. He was spending too much money on some other people who didn't pan out. And that's usually how it goes, right? So that's why I got a problem with people not giving us our respect when it's due. They always say, oh, well, this style is whack and this style. No, man. But this dude got shot in the head and drove himself to the damn hospital. With more, can we give it up just for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then for him to go and do what he did, like, listen, bro. He's going on that Mount Rushmore because I'm tired of watching them try to put people like Chocolate Tito and Inoue on the Mount Rushmore. And Ronda Rousey, I remember when they said she was better than Ali at one point.
God,
you know what I'm saying? No, we're not doing that, fam. We're not doing that. Because we know, like I said, King Crawford, Queen Shields, right? So if you're the king and you're the queen, of course you're on the Mount Rushmore. You got to be.
Okay, but I mean, and Clubber D, we're talking the Mount Rushmore. Muhammad Ali's on mine at least, and other great fighters. Is he on your Mount Rushmore, Clubber D?
Yeah, so it's hard with the Mount Rushmore because I don't have the vast knowledge as Josh. Josh was way back when Caveman Johnson fought Caveman McCormick, and
Caveman Johnson versus McCormick.
They were fighting over to see who gets some cut that night. But you know what I'm saying? Like for me, I feel like Muhammad Ali, for what his fighting is one thing, but what he did outside the ring is something totally different. And for that, he's kind of like on his own pedestal. For the fighters, that influenced me, I'll put Crawford's on there for sure. Roy Jones is on there for sure. My favorite fighter of all time, Pernell Whitaker, is on there. And one last person I'll throw would probably be This is this era, so it's not like I'll say Mike Tyson, but like that. I'll put Mike Tyson. That's just like from 80s on up, nothing too crazy.
I would say, and things could change and evolve over time. If I had to think about it just from my perspective and looking at the history of the sport and kind of tapping in and studying that aspect of it, and this could, of course, ultimately change. For me personally, I would have Muhammad Ali. I would have Henry Armstrong. I would have Archie Moore, who I think is the greatest light heavyweight champion that has ever lived. I think Sam Langford is the greatest pound for pound fighter, the greatest heavyweight, of course. I think that is Muhammad Ali. And then for that fourth, it would have to either be Harry Greb or for me, yeah, I'd likely pick Harry Greb because I think he has the greatest resume in boxing history when you look at it in totality of who he beat. So I had to actually put him there, him or Sugar Ray Robinson, of course, who I think is another one who has one of the greatest resumes. But I think the two greatest resumes in the history of boxing are Sam Langford and Harry Greb, and they fought in the earlier years. Now, it's very different stylistically because we don't have a lot of video on those individuals compared to where we are now. So that's why I go with such. But for me personally, that's what I'd be thinking. And if you look at their resumes and digest their careers as a whole, that's when you see that it's hard to compare some of the modern fighters to some of those from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's almost apples and oranges in some sense, But that's where I would put things right there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually thought about it, but I definitely know Muhammad Ali would definitely be on there for me.
Oh, yeah.
And moving on to other ones, I'd have to think about it for a while more. So I'll defer to these gentlemen here, but I know Ali would definitely be on there. So, all right, cool. Let's move into some comments. One thing I do want to ask as well to y'all, because Felicia did bring this up and Clubber D did as well. What would you have had for the scores then? What would have been your score on the card?
I know my thing, I did score it in an app and I had it 118, I think 110, or is that what it is? Let me see what it is.
Yayo, what did you have?
Two rounds for Canelo.
2 rounds for Canelo? Okay. And then we'll get Clubber D when he gets back. I had Canelo having there he is. Clubber D, what would you have had as your judge's scorecard here?
Oh, I had 10-2.
10-2.
10-2 Crawford. Canelo, I think, was the second in the fourth round that could have been swing rounds, but I'll give them Canelo just to be nice. But I feel like Crawford pretty much dominated this whole fight. He got in the pocket, got out the pocket, moved around, kind of mobilized or demobilized Canelo's offense to where he was just swinging at his trunks the whole time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Crawford, and I think after the fight, he said that he felt his power and he said it wasn't that bad. So I think that's why in that ninth round, he said, you know what, we're going to do this right in the middle. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we're all along the same lines. I agree with Josh. I had 3 rounds for Canelo. But I was probably giving champion rounds, maybe even when I shouldn't have. So, but I thought I was actually trying to score it as I thought the judges would also kind of be scoring it. As y'all know, I thought it was going to be a draw. I thought there was going to be mad shenanigans going on in this match, but apparently they were not. So, all right, let's get to the rest of these comments before we get out of here. Felicia, I wasn't impressed with Canelo's conditioning, the lack thereof reminding me of when Money May fought him. Champ says, right after 6 rounds, I knew it was over. Crawford was laughing, smiling. He had him then. Yeah. He also says, look, I don't know who else caught flashbacks, but I saw my dad coming after me when Papi whipped out the belt. I was like, no, Papi, in my mind. I was like, no. Champ says Floyd didn't take no risk. That's in that GOAT talk that we talked about with Floyd versus Crawford. Felicia says, not too much on Floyd. Floyd is the epitome of discipline, dedication, and drive, and held great alliteration there, my friend. And he held his title over a decade, not to mention every cat that fought him got paid because he paid.
Well, he didn't fight people like us because he didn't want to fight Paul Williams and he didn't want to fight Winky Wright. So he kind of
Margarito.
Yeah, Margarito also. He's like, oh, I ain't fighting him. I'm worried about my health. It's on wax. He said that. So it's kind of towards the end. He's fighting Baltimore and a couple other fighters. I'm not saying he didn't deserve to pick and choose, but he pick and chose at the end.
Okay. Champ Ross, I honestly think Crawford only got to third gear on Canelo, and he thinks he had a fourth gear. Which is crazy to think about.
No doubt.
Did I say Pee Wee instead of Sweet Pea? My bad if I did.
I didn't hear. You good. Boxing is almost like baseball. Being around for so many years is tough to nail down a Mount Rushmore.
Yes,
there are so
no
many
doubt.
players.
That's why I cut it off to the people I've seen.
That's what makes it tough, because there are a number of black fighters from back in the day who didn't get a shot at a world title that are some of the greatest that never won a world title. Sam Langford being one of those, Black Prince Peter Jackson being one of those, and I could go on and on, of course. So that makes it tough.
Mm-hmm.
Can I add to that?
And Champ, yeah, go ahead.
My only add is just this is my what if. What if Riddick Bowe and Mike Tyson actually fought the Battle of Brownsville?
Mike probably would have bit him too.
Hey, say something about Bianca. I might do that.
Bo was my guy until the issue, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree with Champ Ross there. For sure.
Longest boxing was always Henry Armstrong, Joe Louis, etc. Right? Yeah, like Joe Louis is probably somebody I would have in my Mount Rushmore, just because again, I'm not as much of a historian.
Only lost 3 times in 69 fights at heavyweight, and those 3, well, one of them he lost to Max Smelling. He underestimated him or whatever, and then the other 2 came. He was a little bit on in his career. You could say in some sense. So yeah, it's one of those things. So that makes it tough right there. And Henry Armstrong, as mentioned. I even shared the video. He had the featherweight, welterweight, and lightweight title all at once, in the sense of he held all 3 undisputed at one time, and that's crazy. And he was about to win the world middleweight title, but there was some fishy stuff with the scorecards there when he fought Severino Garcia. So I say that to say that, there's so many layers to the history of the sport and the fighters involved with it. It's hard to say one thing is definitive,
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think there's a lot of people that need to be evaluated, and it's like thousands of people, and it's very hard to nail down, especially when you're bringing up to people like me. I'd never heard of Sam Langford, and now I just looked him up, and I'm about to go watch some fights now because I want to know what you're talking about.
Hey, well, let me give you something there too. Something you can go look up. There was a dude named Tom Molyneux. It's spelled with the French way, Molineux, I believe. He fought in the early 1800s. He was a slave that lived on the plantation.
Oh yeah, there he is.
And his owner bet, or the owner's son, the plantation owner's son, bet $100,000 on him to win, and he won the fight. So they gave him $500 and his freedom. Tom Molyneux, and he's from Northern Virginia.
Yeah,
Hey,
this guy.
100,000 at that time.
That's why we.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Whooping y'all ass, man. They motherfucking.
He was an understudy to this guy by the name of Bill Richmond, who kind of had done it first, and then he went over and fought Tom Cribb, who was this British cat who. Ultimately, he was kind of cheated out of win where they were breaking Tom Molyneux's fingers and that type stuff in the midst of the rounds. So it's some worthy of checking out. This was in the pugilistic era of bare knuckle, so it was under those rules.
Right, bare knuckle is what it says. Yeah.
London prize ring rules or whatever.
Seems like motherfuckers from the DMV been whooping ass for a long time.
Yeah.
I think
Riddick Bowe moved down here.
By the way, Clever D, to answer your question there, I did the calculation here of inflation from 1815 to now. $100,000 in 1815 would be equivalent to $2 million, a little over $2 million now.
Crazy.
And they only gave that motherfucker $500 in his freedom. We couldn't give him a little more.
Hey, man, hey.
Couldn't give him a little more.
Yeah.
Because $500 is only worth $10,500 in today's money.
Hey,
so they got away with $2 million, and he got $10,500.
It's no different right now.
And he fought for his freedom, so
that's true. Freedom is
lives over there.
Hey, but when that Ali Act go away, he was running that Dana White system. But that Dana White system gonna get in here.
That Ali Act, I see the pros and big time cons with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm not a fan. I see what they're trying to pitch to the people, saying that with the Ali Act, it kind of takes the promoter out. It's more of you get paid for what you're worth, but
no, they dictate.
Yeah,
the fighters won't know the truth. The Ali Act currently, the promoter has to share how much they're going to make for a particular fight or a fight card, and this would change that to what it is with the UFC, where Dana kind of dictates what you're going to pay, irrespective of what the card in itself is going to make as a whole. So I don't like it.
No, it's kind of like the anti-PBC policy, because PBC was paying their fighters.
Money grab there for Dana. It's a money grab.
Big time money
grab. He could have set up an MMA tournament. Why does he want to set up a boxing type of league? Why don't he set up another prospect-based MMA league? I think it's BS.
They want to pretty much control cash flow.
Yeah. Man, the people who should be controlled should be the ones that's whooping everybody ass. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
A couple good Instagram shout outs here. We got our brother that you were just talking about, Clever D, Bay, that you went down to see this weekend. Joined us on Instagram. Shout out to him.
Super.
And then as well, Dion Pruitt, the business XXL man, the fighter, undefeated out of Louisiana.
Hey,
he saw that great interview. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yep. If you didn't see the interview I did with him, he's a very energetic, and he's just upbeat, and he did the whole Muhammad Ali little poetry thing, and he get his own little twist to it, and it was awesome. So go check it out on Instagram. Salute to you, Dion Pruitt. I'll tap in with him. All right, cool. The last questions here that everybody really wants to know about is what's next for both of these fighters. Alvarez obviously has been fighting a long time, even though he's only 2 years younger than Crawford. He's been fighting since he was like 15 in Mexico. So there are talk of possible retirement, but I know that he also mentioned in an interview that he would also think about a rematch. A lot of people want to see a rematch. That may not be the first thing that Crawford wants to do. He said he's going to go home and rest with his family and then evaluate with his team, as most people would say in that instance. Gentlemen, we'll start with you, Clever D. What are we thinking about what's next for both of these guys?
I think, first and foremost, I think Canelo has 2 more fights left on his contract with Sheik. So he got paid 150 million for this. So I'm sure he's going to fight again. And I don't know if it's going to be somebody like Hamzat or I know Chris Eubanks Jr. was talking about fighting him as well. But I feel like it's not going to be somebody that we really care to see him fight. It's going to be one of those bounce back fights. And his last fight will be maybe somebody of stature. And then finish up with Crawford. It's not going to be Benavidez. I don't think Benavidez is going to be it. I feel like he's going to move back down to 160. And Zenovic has 2 belts. There's Carlos Adamos and Erislandy Lara, who has another belt, who's older than Crawford. I think Papi, Yayo, and Skywalker talked about this on Sunday night, but I feel like he can move down to 160 and clean up that division and be 4-time undisputed.
So you do see Canelo and Crawford fighting in that third fight? Is that what you said?
No,
or you do not.
No.
Okay,
no,
you do not see that happening.
Not at all.
Okay. Yayo, what about you? What do you think about that?
Hell no. Hey man, Canelo, you had a nice run, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Him and his fans, they gotta exit. They gotta exit stage left. Like, these motherfuckers is not welcomed in the sport, not by me, anyways.
Damn, not the whole sport, Jesus.
The whole sport, bro.
God
That's
bless.
they gotta exit stage left, because that type of shit that they was doing, that shit ain't even called for, fam. I'm telling you, that shit had me pissed off like a motherfucker. I'm serious. Like, I almost fucked some friendships over that shit. Like,
okay,
I'm serious,
but we know now that Clever D said he has to fight 2 more fights. So what?
Yeah, but so I mean, it's gonna be like it's been this last 10 years that he probably gonna clean up another 2 UK dudes. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna feed him. They're gonna give him some lunch meat. You know what I mean?
Johnny Dutton.
Yeah, they're gonna give him some lunch meat, man. And honestly, you know what? He should. I mean, dude, how much more money do you got to make, fam? Like, what's enough, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But what about the pride of getting your belts back from Crawford?
Ain't no pride. Them belts.
He
didn't earn them belts the right way to begin with.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
why he doesn't feel that way. He thinks
his fans don't feel that way either, and that's why you got to give Crawford all that much more respect because of what he did. He took all of that, all the bullshit they gave him. He get that too. Like, when's the last time you seen a
Very
Mexican drink
graceful.
some Hennessy? When was the last time you seen a Mexican drink some Hennessy? Canelo had a Hennessy. He had a Hennessy sponsorship, fam. Like, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. What you mean he got Hennessy? You couldn't get at somebody black? Don't y'all associate us with that?
LeBron
Yeah, I
got
said
one.
it. I said it. You know what I'm saying?
But he also came
No,
out
bro.
to a
Listen, Bud, if I was Bud, this is what I would do, right? So I really, to be honest, I think Bud should sell off into the sunset on the top of the mountain and then just tell everybody to kiss his ass on the way out because they didn't give him the respect he earned while he was they didn't give him his flowers while he was here. So if I was him, I would just ride off into the sunset. But if I wasn't him, I would break that belt back out. He didn't had a fish fry. Like, hey, Boots Ennis, didn't you go to try to help this mother? Come over here and get this
Oh, yeah.
ass whooping off code. Ass whooping off code. Hey, Jamel Charlo, you remember when you was going against me when we was talking about Earl Spence? I told you mind your motherfucking business. And I was
fact.
talking to you while I was whooping his ass. Come on over here, get this ass whooping so we can really submit this, because that'll be 4 divisions undisputed. If he beats Jamel Charlo, I love to see that. That's what they should have gave us the first time, and that's what they should give us now. If he gonna do anything else, go ahead and get that Boots. I mean, you don't got to get Boots to it, but you definitely got to get Charlo though. Charlo needs some of that hitting on women and stuff like that. Hey, come on over here, boy. We don't hit women. We hit each other.
You're right about that.
But seriously though, man, honestly, I don't want to see neither one of them fight no. I don't want to see neither one of them fight no more. I think they done what they had to do in the sport. Bud's made his bread. I think he should just, ride out into the sunset. And I'm giving him flowers right now, and just be done with it. Go fishing.
Yeah. Hey, I'm kind of in that same boat right there. I think that the choices with the both of them, I feel like we could see a Canelo versus Chris Eubank Jr., especially if he wins this rematch with what's his face. Also, as it relates to Crawford, the ball is in his court. It depends on what he wants to do realistically. Maybe he goes down to 160, even 154. There's still fights on the table there, but it's all based on what he wants to do. But I think he submitted himself, as has Canelo. Not a ton more that can be accomplished by Canelo. I think he solidified himself. There are many who hold him in very high regards and view him as the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. So it's just a choice of how he wants to continue to compete. Do I think we've seen the last of both of them? I don't think so. I feel like both of them will be in there in some mix. And so it'll be interesting just to see what Crawford's next fight is, if any, because I feel like it's pretty much just open table, and he can choose between 168 down to 154, and maybe it's Boots, maybe it's Janovic, maybe it's Sebastian Fendora versus Keith Thurman winner. You name it, you know what I'm saying? I just think the sky's the limit with him.
So you don't see a Canelo Crawford rematch either?
I can't see that happening as well. I don't know how much of a fan sort of pulse and expectation will be there, considering how dominant overall Crawford was, you know what I'm saying? So I think it would be just merely for the money if they were to rematch again, at least without having some other fight or whatever it may be in between such.
I will jump in with this because I had listened to Crawford on Ariel Helwani, and he touched on this individual by the name of Ilia Topuria, because they use the same music. Ilia Topuria, he's just moved up to a 155. He's 155 UFC lightweight champion, and he's not happy with Canelo. He's not happy with Crawford using the same music as him and saying he can beat him now. Now, if this was a money grab and Crawford, he's good friends with Dana White. Crawford has shown in the past that he actually did used to wrestle. If he wants to go out and become a UFC champion, I'm all for that. If he fights Ilia Topuria, if the money is right and he puts Ilia Topuria where he needs to be, I can see him fighting him in the UFC.
In the UFC, in MMA.
That'd be interesting right
I can see Blood testing himself and doing that, because Ilia Topuria, he does not take you down. He likes to stand up and box. If you want to watch MMA,
but he could take him down. Does
Bud knows how to
Bud
wrestle.
have any MMA training?
Bud knows how to wrestle. You can defend a takedown. You stop that takedown. You can.
No. I didn't know he had. Yeah, I didn't know he had wrestling experience.
Because if you,
you didn't see him pick.
Oh yeah, he's wrestled a lot. Like when he wrestled with Devin Haney and his friends, Bud can wrestle, and his nephew, he can actually wrestle. And if anybody wants to look at MMA fighters fight, don't look at the James Toney Randy Couture, because Randy Couture is a high level wrestler. Look at Tim Sylvia versus Ray Mercer, and so what Ray Mercer did to him in 15 seconds. So
that would be more novelty, but hey, I guess it could definitely happen. And shout out to my guy Rodolfo Herrera Jr. I know he's on the same page, but I do think that why Canelo versus Eubank makes sense is because Canelo, of course, he's primarily fought in Mexico and the U.S., and this will be his chance in front of the UK audience.
Yep.
I'm thinking they can get 70, 80,000 or more there for a contest between him and Eubank Jr. Just because the UK fans, I think they have the top fan base in boxing, personally speaking, and I think that will show up in a major way there as far as filling out the stadium or whatever it may be in terms of just getting the most amount of people out there. I think they have the top fan base in that regard. But, hey, we saw that Canelo Crawford brought 70,000 plus there for this contest, so that shows you, hey, there's interest there. So I think Canelo Eubank would do that or more over in the UK. So that's why I think that's one that could potentially come about.
They filled up the stadium for Eubanks and Ben. That was a non-title fight. So,
bro, hey, I explained to people. I explained to our audience how that works. They got one big ass stadium, and there's a waiting line for tickets to any event. So every event's going to be sold out. They got 90,000 seats that they can sell out, and the line is like, it's like 1 million people deep just to get into events. So all those events are going to be sold out. You're going to have motherfuckers in there singing Sweet Caroline. You might see about eight Mexican flags. You know what I'm saying? The Canelo goes sleep about 8. They're going to be singing the whole match.
I think that factors in. And also by the same token, here in the U.S., of course, we think about the places where we can get the most people. Michigan Stadium there in Ann Arbor, where the Michigan Wolverines play. That's like 106 or 7,000 that you can hold there. Dallas Cowboys Stadium, that's where we had some boxing events. Canelo fought Liam Smith, and they got, I want to say, 52,000 plus in there against a British guy that nobody knew. You know what I'm saying? So I think you could get a lot of people there in a Cowboys Stadium, for instance. It's just going to depend on the right dance partner. You know what I'm saying?
Why don't he fight in Mexico? That's another goddamn thing.
He fought
Ryder. He fought Ryder. No, that's just not the only time, but he started out in Mexico. But Ryder, they had 55,000 plus against Ryder, who isn't a known commodity or name there in Mexico. I think Canelo can do even more depending on where he's at, especially, and that was in like the Guadalajara, Jalisco area where he's from. If he fights in Mexico City, I'm sure they can get even more than that. You know,
that's what they should do. Go back home. And go do a fight over there. I don't care, man. All y'all motherfuckers, y'all can go back there too. Go back there and watch the fight there in the outside arena. And I hope it rained like a motherfucker on all y'all.
Damn, man.
I'm not forgiving these motherfuckers, man. They went too far, fam. I'm serious.
I feel like with Canelo, he's fought when he fought Kirkland, and I feel like there was a little I mean, I could be, people say whatever online, but when he fought Kirkland, they said that he couldn't train with Aaron Wolf, but that was at the Astro Stadium.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So he's definitely, and I thought Kirkland was going to knock his ass out, but that was definitely, he fought in a big crowd there. Crawford fought in a big crowd in California when he fought Madrimov outside. So we've had these some point of big giant crowds for boxing in America. But it's just not like Wembley Stadium, we don't have the all hands on deck except for this Allegiant Stadium. When I saw that picture of the crowd, everybody at the stadium for the Canelo Crawford, I was like, thank you, American fans, thank you. But the biggest villain in that whole thing was that Allegiant does not allow bags inside of the stadium. So all the videos of people lined up to get their bags back, and all these dudes carrying purses.
Carrying
for the
purses,
girls
yeah.
to watch. It is hilarious.
Go back to the car. It was hilarious.
Oh man.
Hey, I believe the highest selling boxing event or the attended boxing event in North America in the history was Chavez Sr. against Greg Hagen. And I want to say it was like 106,000 or something like that.
Damn.
Something where in that neighborhood, and it was in Mexico or whatever. So that shows you the potential there that is there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean they got venues like in South Africa and shit like that where people can go fight and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like just go and take that shit somewhere else. Fuck it.
So first of all, I've got to say, Clubber D, I was actually absolutely dying when I was watching the Instagram video of all these dudes carrying purses, and I just know what the conversation was like because I've been in there before when you've been with your girl and she's like, take this back to the car, and you're like, mother. Okay, fine. And then you look like a little punk walking up. I got dying.
Now it was worse than that, fam. I seen a dude put 40K up on Canelo, bro. Like all the motherfuckers was they was betting. They was betting the house on Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Dudes was walking out of there mad as a motherfucker.
You gotta be like free and make her take it to the car.
Right. 40K on Canelo, like right.
So there were some really funny moments before we sign off. We're about to sign off in a second, everybody. We thank you for tuning in, but there were some really funny moments that I want to get your thoughts on. Now, Clubber D, you did say the Mexican entrance for Crawford was more of a. You said that was more of like a tribute instead of an intimidation factor.
Yeah, well, he knew the guy. The guy that sung the song was his friend. That's from Nebraska. He's Mexican. He's like, hey. You know, I like the song. Okay. I want him to do this and showing the Mexican fans that I have Mexican fans. I'm cool. It's not a black versus Mexican thing. And he's trying to prove because as Papi and Yayo said, there's a lot of racism that has been happening in the last, leading up to this fight. Yeah. And he's like, I don't hate you guys. We're all people. So I'm having my friend who's Mexican singing this song and giving him opportunity. So shout out to Crawford, for doing that.
Yeah, no, shout out. I was just confused because he came in, he had Tool first, which is like a crazy entrance for Crawford.
West Coast.
Okay, but Tool is like a hardcore like metal band, so I did not expect that at all from Crawford. So I was like, okay, that's really cool. Dana White sitting ringside and Turkey Al-Sheikh making him hold the belt, and he's like looking down the whole time like a scolded dog. Did y'all see it?
What you think, bro? Old boy was probably backstage rubbing his feet down with lotion. Hey, man, go and clean. You remember, Turkey changed outfits in the middle of the thing. He probably had one of them. You know what I'm saying? Get the sponge bath and rub down the back of his knee meat. The knee meat got rubbed down in the back of it. Yeah. He said, make sure you get that duck butter too, because I got to be commando out here with this skirt on. You feel me? So he running stuff. For sure. I promise you. We watched those.
Believe it,
man. They was cycling people in and out of that seat next to Turkey.
Mr. Beast was like there for like 8. How the hell did he get a seat there? I want to sit there. Fuck Mr. Beast. It was
crazy.
Everybody had to go rub a knee.
I put it like this: it was very strategic for Dana White to hold that belt because Suleiman of the WBC was basically not allowed, or he says he wasn't allowed to get in the ring. And Dana White was the one who put that belt around Terence Crawford, if you notice.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like UFC fighters. When the UFC fighters win, it's Dana White who puts that belt around him.
Yeah.
They wanted that big ass WBC belt to be around him because he always goes out for Canelo and all these other WBC
they made a custom one too.
They made a custom one and a ring. And Canelo and Crawford gave Canelo his belts back after the fight because those are his belts. But which you notice, Dana White is the one who put that belt around Terence Crawford.
I would say that is something, but giving the belts back certainly is customary.
Yeah, they do
for the most part because they custom.
But they said usually that it would be your. But Josh, they said usually it would be the team that gives it back. It wouldn't be the fighter themselves that would give it back after a win.
I think he wanted to do it for respect right there, Crawford, in that sense. Yeah,
you know what? Crawford has been so graceful and so respectful this whole fucking time.
So fuck it. I'm going to be disrespectful for him here. Okay. Take these belts back with this ass whooping I just gave you. Hold that. Hold that. You know what I'm saying?
But I was dying when I saw Dana White. I was dying. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, they
like,
co-promoted with UFC.
He looks like a scolded dog. He was just like this.
Yeah.
And then all the women. I'm going to need those women to stop yelling every 5 seconds. So I can't watch the broadcast properly because these chinkas want to be out here tripping and yelling to the damn highest tippy top of their lungs like they know what they're even yelling about.
Miss. What the hell you like yelling at?
Craziness, man.
And then Dave Chappelle with the with no sleeves on at the end, just going crazy for the Crawford win. I love that. That was great. It was great. All around great weekend. I've got to get out of here because I got to finish packing for my trip tomorrow to go see Clubber D and the rest of my family and friends back in the DMV.
Yes,
Papi
sir.
Chunyeo, if you find yourself in DC this weekend, you hit us up. Josh, you might be around. Hit us up. I'll be in the bridge.
I'm leaving on Friday morning. I won't be back there Sunday.
Oh, that's right. You're going for
How long are you gonna be here?
Now I'll be leaving back Monday. I'm just going to watch those Commanders get their
but you're
butts
making it
whooped
tomorrow?
by my Raiders.
I'll see what's up. But yeah, I'm flying out to Houston on Friday morning. So
okay.
But
yeah, I'll
if
probably
not
be
this
down
time,
in
next time for
Stonebridge
sure.
tomorrow night. But yeah, next time we'll catch up for sure. Yeah.
Definitely got to catch
Stonebridge. Hey, I know about that. Hey,
come on
well,
down.
hey, we'll be there tomorrow night for sure. Josh, let them know where they can find you at.
Hey, at 86 Boxing, pretty much everything for the most part. You look up 86 Boxing, you're gonna see these colors right here, and you know you're in the right place there. So appreciate you all for sure.
And you got the Tierra Brown fight coming up, so safe travels.
We're gonna be there live. I might go live a little bit just to show what it's like out there in that environment, folks. So be expecting such. So
Yayo, where can they find you?
Man, y'all can find me at the nearest department store in the belt section. I'm looking for something fresh. I'm looking for something fresh to wear out. No, man, y'all can find me at Papi Chunyeo on IG, man. Listen, hey, don't come at me with that bullshit because I love the sport and we support all ethnicities of fighters. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got to start doing some respect because I promise you, man, we can withdraw that support and get to going to work on y'all out here. You feel me? Put the respect out there. That's all we asking for is respect. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's all love, but, you know, there's some lessons that come. As long as you learn them, you don't have to get it again.
That belt. Next time I want to see Papi Choon Puppet out there with the belt. I need to see him with the belt. Clubber D, where can they find you at?
Hey, you can find me at Clubber D on YouTube. In the next 48 hours, you guys will receive a Raja Jackson video from me. And also, every Sunday from 7 to right before the Sunday night football game starts, me, Omar, Lamar, aka Dirty Mojo, and Peach, if he's available, we're gonna talk about our games and we're gonna break down all the football games that happen on Sunday. So check us out on Sunday from 7 to right before the Sunday night game kicks off. We'll be rapping and chopping up about our teams and what happened in the games that day. But yeah, on Ball and Buds, check me out on Ball and Buds. Clubber D at YouTube, Ball and Buds at YouTube. Check us out. Check everybody out.
Yeah, motherfuckers look like they acting up on a cruise somewhere.
That was in Nashville.
That was on a party bus in Nashville. That's gonna be me Sunday after the game. I'm gonna be 3 sheets to the wind.
That's right.
So.
For sure.
Hey, you got to be careful in DC.
That's funny. Everybody, make sure you tap in and subscribe to all of these channels. Please see them there at the bottom. I've got them floating down in that banner. 86 Boxing. Papi Chunyeo's on IG. He also has a YouTube, but he's not quite filled it out yet. So go subscribe and wait for videos.
It's coming.
Clubber D at YouTube, and as well as he said, Ball and Buds. Let me get back out to our 5 frames so I can let you see that QR code down there at the bottom. That is Ball and Bud's LinkTree. Please hit that up. You can find all of our social media, including Clubber D's as well. So go there and subscribe, follow, watch. Salute to everybody that came out and watched us today. We really appreciate you. Hit that like, whether watching now or on the replay. Again, it will still help us out in the algorithm on that replay. And again, make sure you tap in with everybody. Yeah, we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, everybody.
Salute Skywalkers. Tap in with Skywalker.
Oh, that's right.
Skywalker.
Shit. Thank you, Clubber D.
Yeah,
Skywalker Boxing Media, Mo Boxing, no problems. Make sure you subscribe.
What up, Champ Ross?
Hey, and Champ Ross Fight Picks Group. Look, Clubber D cleaning me up over here. My
Yes, sir.
Oh, that was false. And get at us for Boxing Champs Fight Picks Group. It is free to play. You can win money. Have a great weekend. Be blessed. Holla. 5,000.
He's with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure four. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat close. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will go. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. Hot like winter cold. Bust these fools, anything less than killing whack rappers is a crime. I stay trying to get mine. Stacking value, packing venues, winning over time. Ain't no fine timeline. Open your eyes, you're looking for the best, and this is what you find. Game is only for the bold. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing from parts unknown, your UFC and combat sports insider, Clubber D, the Combat G, and the Sports Professor.